We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to Icon's Earthbound, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I will be your GM today, Jason, and with me as usual will be Curtis as Landshark.
Hola.
Taylor as Unison.
Howdy.
Mike as Independence Ray.
Hello.
And Zach as Recluse.
I'm alive!
Now, who remembers what went on last week? Or not last week, last session.
We are fighting the Witch Queen of Gakradian.
The Molgoth Queen of Gakrad, thank you very much.
The Hot Topic
Found
Queen.
Found Silver Ravenwolf's grimoire in a subway somewhere, and now she's having to make it everybody else's problem. Ugh.
And we were on our way to leave because we were done, but we were invited to a dinner, a celebration, and they encouraged us to wear our uniforms, in fact.
Well, they don't have a big tradition of superheroes on this world, so they kind of look at your costumes as more like uniforms. Now, whether they consider you military or more like law enforcement, that's a little up in the air. Because, when you talk to them, it sounds like they mostly fight crime back home. But they're here because they got lost going home from a war, so who knows. So, yes, you had bought into her sob story a little bit and kind of let her go.
Recluse tried to stop her from going through her bullshit portal.
Well, no, I mean before that. When
Yeah.
you're fighting on the street. Only she used that grace to immediately go kidnap the guy she'd been trying to kidnap to begin with.
Yeah.
But y'all managed to track her down. Go through the old unused sewage system under the city.
Unused, fortunately. Very fortunately.
Yes. Yeah, no weird odors. It just smelled like a building that had been closed up for a long time. But yeah, you found her there and looked like in the middle of some sort of ritual. A few small runes cut into the guy's skin. Not deep cuts. It clearly was not anything life-threatening. It was not an attempt on his life. You're really not sure what those things were for. And when confronted with all of you, she really didn't put up much of a fight. She basically just ran.
Yeah, apparently her motive was to apply pressure on the kidnapping's father, who was a big to-do on this planet.
Yes, he's one of the consulars. Or consuls. Yeah.
And the group did not think it was a good idea to take the book home and give it to Santa Luna for safe keeping. Not take it home, but we definitely had. This could be an even worse idea, but we did have Omniglot read through it for more information on the star sheet that the Queen was apparently channeling somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'd like to state, I have no problem with us taking that book home. I have a problem with us stealing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we asked, we probably would.
Yeah, if we ask for permission and it's given to us, by all means, let's take the crazy alien skin book home.
They'd probably just be glad it's off planet, honestly. To be fair, now that we've learned more about the book, I don't think that would make a good gift for Santa Luna.
Are you saying that Santa Luna does not have a book bound in human skin?
Well, not alien skin.
That makes it more unique and collectible.
Yeah, that's like an ultra rare in
All I'm saying is Landshark doesn't do a whole lot of reading, so he doesn't really know what books Jay has.
That would be funny though if Lance Shark got into the occult text.
Now, what would be funnier was if Landshark got possessed by something bound up in an evil book. That would be hilarious.
Also more like
He is probably very susceptible to possession. He's
I
all
will
broad,
keep
not a lot
keep
of
that in
brain.
mind.
he's open to new
Shut my
experiences.
mouth. Do what?
He's open to new experiences.
But anyway, yes, you'd gone in, you'd rescued, what was his name, Vexlorp, the consul's
That's right.
son. And, there was a big to-do, you gave full reports to the local law enforcement. You spoke to reporters. It was big, it was big news. Consul Zorsek, the father of the kidnapped victim, they were having it was part celebration, it was part already going to be a public event going on. But he's invited, he invited you to, that was what he's invited you to, basically the next evening, in uniform. With the plan that y'all will probably leave the day after that. Basically, y'all were planning to probably leave tomorrow, but okay, we'll stay tomorrow for the party. And then take off the day after that. A one-day delay is not going to hurt you too bad. Especially not when they've replenished your supplies and, helped you go over the ship thoroughly to make sure everything's in good repair. I believe they had also told you to invite Glexa and her family if they wanted to come.
They did. I remember that. But, or at least they said that we could invite them.
Yes. Like I said, it is a public event. It's not like not open to the general public where you can just show up. There's still a whole ticket thing because they have their equivalent of fire marshals on this planet, so got to keep things in code.
Someone has to make money off of it.
If we're anticipating, I believe we are officially anticipating an attack from Queen, right? From Malgoth Queen. If that's the case, do we want to invite the family to what could very well be the battle zone?
Well, my thought is let them make the choice. Let them know they've been invited. They know what the risks are, and they can decide if they want to come or not. But surely there's no more danger.
No. Y'all whipped her twice. Surely she'll at least wait until you're off planet to do it.
We're just here to role play a party.
All right. So do you pass the invitation along?
I'd say yes, but with the caveat Bruce brought up that hey, their stuff could go down.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a good call.
But we'll be there.
Yeah, how dangerous could it
Yeah.
We're pretty good at kicking her ass at this point.
I'm just picturing the conversation. Stuff could go down this party. We've already saved your family once. Everybody only gets once.
Next one will cost you.
So yeah, you pass that along. There's some debating going on. Glexa wants to go. Her husband Zero's a little But she makes a lot of the arguments that y'all just said. Look, she's shown up twice. You know, these guys have beaten her twice. It's been, it's going to be publicly announced that they're going to be at the party. She'd be stupid to show up again. They finally compromise on the two of them will go, but they're getting a sitter for the kids.
Sorry, kids.
Well, it's an adults' party. It would probably have been boring for them anyway.
Yeah, now they get to stay up and eat junk food all night.
All right, so y'all have that evening and the next morning. Is there anything particular you would want to still do on this planet?
Can we review what we learned about the Starsheed from the from Skin Book?
All right. Let's see. Did I tell you anything real specific about it? Nothing on the online notes.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually looking over my notes now. We actually did get some pretty specific information, if I may. The ring that she's wearing was created by an ancient archmage at least a few thousand years ago, and there's one of three rings.
Mm-hmm.
This is the ring that is enabled to capture a Starsheed. There's another ring that boosts the wearer's magical might.
That is correct.
And the third ring boosts your mind power, perhaps to make you smarter, perhaps to know.
And she, to be clear, she has all three rings.
And they all look the same.
Yeah, they all look identical.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was a potential problem because apparently the Starsheed ring incinerated the first two people to try to put it on before Malgoth.
Correct. Basically, the Archmage put it on. He successfully trapped the Starsheed, put the ring on, and it burned him to a crisp. His main apprentice.
This is not Landshark saying this, because I don't think he would think of it. But do you suppose you need the ring that boosts your mental powers?
Oh.
You need to wear it first before you put on the Starsheed? So, Starsheep or Sheed?
Sheed.
No, because the master dude already had both his rings on when he made the third ring and put it on, and it killed him immediately.
Okay.
It's possible that the Starsheed was still able to exert some amount of control and wasn't happy about being shoved in the ring.
Yeah, then
and
after 1,000 years, something's happened.
Yeah, it's either dead or doesn't begrudge Magra or
Malab.
Well, she did say that mentally it was gone. There wasn't really brain activity.
Yeah.
But yes, so after it killed the first apprentice, the second apprentice basically just scooped it up in a bag and hid it somewhere. At least that's as much history as you know of it. The skin-bound book appears to have been written by somebody who had spoken to that apprentice. Or at least was recording a dialogue someone had with the apprentice. And you know from dealing with her, you've seen her cast spells, you've seen her use Starsheed ability or Great Spior abilities like Ray has. Did she do anything mental to anybody? I'm trying to remember.
Mental?
I
don't
think
remember
she
her
tried to
doing
do
anything.
Something to me. But neither of us had any luck doing mental stuff to each other.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I think you're right there.
One thing I'm thinking, if we do encounter Malab again, Recluse, do you think you could try to web that ring off of her?
I could try. At the very least, we could just, kapow and take it off her after she's knocked out.
That too. And I'll presume that whatever magic whammy it packs wouldn't translate to the weapon.
Man, I'm not playing Eddie. He could go Gollum on her.
Yeah, wrong character for that. Land Shark would lose a lot of his adorable if he bit somebody's finger off.
Yeah.
And then looked up with blood raining down his mouth. I'm a shark. Okay, that's no longer funny.
Yeah, it's not cute anymore, Bruce.
Okay, Bruce, we need you to guard this asylum over here. You're undercover, so you're going to talk to this therapist just like everybody else would. So yeah, y'all go back over that, and you're discussing how can we get the rings away from her, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe do we want to discuss the possibility of what if the consul tries to use us as some kind of propaganda tool in case they make some kind of bizarre or distasteful kind of proclamation in our name.
Yeah.
Worth considering ahead of
Hey.
time.
They wouldn't do that.
Am I awake at this point?
Oh yeah, that's right. 14 out.
Oh, yeah.
I get into an in-character discussion.
Y'all will be having this discussion the next morning at breakfast after Unison, walked into the guest room y'all were staying in. Or, actually, I think y'all had y'all's own little apartment. Y'all weren't staying with Alexa. But, yeah.
Unison that's something we didn't talk about that happened last session. Unison has
we
some
should review
news
that.
about Earth if he decides to share.
I think he said he was going to share when he woke up. So yeah, so y'all got back to the apartment.
That's right.
That afternoon, he walks in, just belly flops on the bed and sleeps for 16 hours or so straight. So yes, the next morning as y'all are having y'all's breakfast meeting, Unison, you're up.
Okay. Well, all right. As far as this meeting and this party, if they attempt to use us, we can just go no, because they don't have anything that can stop us. They don't have individually powered people running around that could just stop. We are, by and large, some of the most powerful things on this planet as individuals in this moment. They'll use us in some ways, but if they try to force words in our mouths, we can physically stop that from happening.
Sure.
Also, Earth's messed up.
I'm sorry, what now?
Oh, what?
Yeah, and that's all I got. Earth's messed up.
It's always messed up. But
Big wave of energy popped my copy. Don't know.
Oh.
It did not bust any windows, though, so it's not like a bomb dropped.
Do you need me to go back over the description I gave 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, because I thought it was like a wave of
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It's like it's like when your dupe was looking out the window. It was like a distortion, almost like a heat wavering. And everything behind it was kind of blurry, but you could tell stuff was different. Stuff was changing. The buildings were shaped differently as it blew through.
Oh, like a reality transformation.
That would be one explanation. Or a matter manipulator sculpting, whatever.
Or like a highly localized time.
That would be another explanation. And then when it hit your dupe, your vision and perception got all disjointed. It was like reality kind of went catty corner, and you popped, or your dupe popped. So that may have been the copy getting distorted some kind of way before whatever the stress it was under caused it to pop. As it was made out of ectoplasm and not real physical matter.
And officially, how far are we way away from Earth still? Like how much time? What's on the bill? What count is on the whiteboard for days
I
till we get
think
to
we had
that
said
point?
you were about 3 weeks away. Or was it 3 months away? No, because
That
y'all were
was
like,
more like 3 months.
yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know I said last time. Because when y'all first popped up, you were like 6 to 9 months away. But then your first encounter with the Hunter and Lord of Nardu's people, you wound up jumped ahead a bit closer from there. Yeah, I think it was more like 3 weeks left. I think it was more like 3 weeks or a month, something like that.
Sounds about right.
It's what we're going to go with from here on out. So.
Okay.
We're getting close.
It's fine. The Primus is alive. There's the mini Primuses running around. They'll sort it out. It's just another. Oh God, I'm so tired all the time.
Yeah. I would have wanted to check in on how you're actually feeling. Maybe run a med scan of some kind just to see how you're holding up.
Is that to Recluse who was complaining about being tired, or to Unison who just slept 16 hours?
Oh, sorry, I missed. And anyway, I would have wanted to check in on how Unison's doing physically.
If something's altered reality on Earth, what if Jay and Marcus don't remember us?
That's
Then we start life anew.
Then you're a free man. You can play the field.
maybe not the answer you're looking for, but yeah, that's a couple leaps of assumption ahead, so I wouldn't worry about that quite yet.
Get a new boyfriend with blackjack and hookers.
it's who's the Australian guy?
The platypus.
The platypus. Oh, he gets back to Earth and Jay is hooked up with the platypus. That would be brilliant.
That's it.
It doesn't really fall into the storyline I've already got planned, but it would be brilliant.
Sorry, Curtis.
That would be funny.
He thought Bruce had died in space, and Platty just reminded him so much of him.
It was like Bruce in every way, but just a little better. Yeah, well,
yes, I'm fine, right?
Until we get there. Yeah, until we get there, I guess we can only trust on the superheroes who are still on surface to deal with the threat until we get home.
Because most of the heroes that left with y'all should already be back.
Yeah, they were ahead of us, so they should.
Yeah, you were one of the last ones headed back, and then you had your little accident.
Oh yeah, hey, with the advanced tech from this place, did they have the ability to wake up our guest in our ship?
Not really, because while some of their tech is more advanced, and overall, their society is certainly more advanced. But a lot of their tech isn't that much more advanced than what you've got on the Primus. Just because you had reverse engineered, a pirate
Alien
ship,
tech.
And the alien tech was,
competitive.
Yeah, y'all are. This place is closer to Earth than some of the inner ones, so it's not that much more advanced than Earth.
I do feel bad about
I
dragging
keep forgetting about our guest.
to Earth with us.
Yeah, the Hawk officer, right?
Yes.
Is that who she was?
Yes, you're pretty sure her name was Star.
Star.
With 2 R's.
Oh yeah, Hawk Star. We can just make her comfortable until we find a way to.
Well, you tried to take one of your med techs tried to take the armor off and got thrown across the room. So you're like, okay, she's comfortable in the armor.
I forgot about that.
And best the medical guys can tell, she's not getting like bed sores or anything. The armor seems to be taking care of her physically. It's just, it's just she's in a coma and won't wake up. And she's an alien. We don't really know how her brain works. So there's a real limited amount of stuff they're willing to try. They're mostly just monitoring. But yes, if you'd requested, they'd have sent some of their medical staff onto the ship to look and see what they could do. But they're kind of in the same boat y'all are. There is definitely brain activity, but they don't know any way to like forcibly wake her up.
All right.
So while you may have forgotten about her, your characters didn't.
I've not forgotten about her once. I keep trying to find ways to wake her up.
I can't tell if somebody sounds unhappy or if somebody sounds sleepy.
And she's certainly sounds like she's still reeling from the most painful experience of her life.
Mm-hmm. She's just being cantankerous. Pretty sure she was told no by Mom.
No.
Well, then that's a proper reaction.
Mm-hmm. It's the end of the world. Now she's just has her head flopped on my bicep, looking up at me with the biggest puppy dog eyes, and she realizes it's not working, so now she just left.
She gave you the look that meant, will you please go talk some sense into this woman? But then you didn't do it, so.
I am a monster.
So our world's potentially on fire. We've avoided it somehow. And we've got a party to go to.
Let's get this over with.
I'm adding a bow tie to my uniform.
Okay. An actual tie one or like a clip-on?
It's going to have to be a clip-on because I'm sure he probably cannot tie a bow tie. In fact, he may actually go Chippendales and add a collar without realizing what he's done.
Don't worry, nobody on this planet will recognize the mistake.
No, nobody on the planet will get it, but
We'll get it.
and he'll just be annoying everyone by practicing in the mirror, introducing himself to people. Hi, my name is Bruce. I'm a shark.
So yeah, Omniglot walks in and sees the collar and sort of snickers. She got back to the apartment after the rest of y'all the next day because she hung out with the police reading through that book.
Find out anything interesting?
Kind of like back home, I think there were a lot of mages who were not nice people.
Yeah. You don't really get skin-bound books made by people who are good and chill.
That's probably true. There were a fair amount of spells in that book. Boy, did a lot of them involve, well, not human sacrifice, but, local sacrifice.
Well, as long as he stuck to the pre-established rule of no reading.
Now, you roboted out on us. What was that?
Oh, I told Omnigod, well, as long as he didn't pick up any occult skills with your reading assignment.
Sure. No, of course not. She's like, it wasn't everything. There was some utility stuff in there too, but it's hard to wrap your head around. Like the spells in that book is very hard for me to wrap my head around. Because a lot of them refer to stuff that the book doesn't cover. Like you're supposed to have some base knowledge before you try to fool with that book. I would not try to. She's like, aside from having never missed the magic period, I would not try to cast anything in that book. I don't have the the basic knowledge of how their magic is structured.
Literally, it's written from a alien cultural context.
Exactly.
And it is not a starter book.
She's like, Bruce's man, Saint Luna. Like if I translated the actual language so he'd know what it was saying, he might be able to sort it out. Maybe the foundations of magic are like the foundations of science, where there's just certain ground rules that are going to be true, and then it's just sort of how each culture develops from there. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe magic's different on every planet.
Or for each magic user.
Yeah, or maybe it's solely culturally based. Frankly, trying to figure out magic kind of hurts my brain. I mean, not literal pain, but you know what I mean. It is a pain. But she's like, other than what I already told you about the creation of those rings, I don't see much else that affects or that would have be of a direct use in dealing with Malab. I didn't see anything in there about those marks she was putting on the Consul's son, though. But considering some of the stuff she can do, this is probably not the only book in her, in her possession.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the local law enforcement's got it locked up, so.
Okay, so it's back in custody.
Yeah. She did not leave the crime scene with the book. She traveled with the officers. They were letting her read through it and giving them a report on what was in it.
Oh, got it.
Because while it's written in a language from this world, it's like written in an old dead language, So it would have taken them some research to manage a translation on their own. But yeah, so they've got it stashed somewhere secure and not like a publicly known place, She's like kind of like back home where Spear confiscates some supervillain's tech. They lock it up somewhere, but it's not like locked up in like a normal evidence locker at a police station where anybody would know more or less where it is. Otherwise, somebody like Malab just walks right in, takes it, and walks right back out. So all of y'all get spruced up. You put on your cleanest uniform. Where's the... Sorry, I was looking for something. And yeah, there's nothing else you can do. Y'all head out. Glexa and Zero, they come by in a cab and pick you up. It's not like a stretched limo sort of thing, but think of something about the size of a van.
Mm-hmm.
Something where there's room for, 7 of y'all. And, that guy flies you to the estate that the event's at, drops you off, flies off. Y'all call him back call him back if you're all leaving, or, call smaller vehicles if you end up leaving at different times. Once you get there, y'all all ushered inside. There's think of it. Let's see. The room you're ushered into, it's almost like a double-sized ballroom. You're not sure that's what it's used for in this context. But along the sides, there are stairs leading up to a raised area, almost like a balcony over the main floor. There's food to one side. Lots of people walking around with drinks. Despite the alien people here, even having hung around on this planet for a while, for several days now, the clothing and stuff you're seeing here isn't familiar. This is not stuff people wear every day. Watching their TV and stuff, you've probably seen some of this kind of stuff. But this is the fancy stuff. Though you'll see spots where the people are dressed a little more normally. But there does seem to be kind of a mixing of the social classes here. Inglex and her husband kind of break off from y'all and kind of start intermingling with the party. Y'all are led in to speak with what was his name again? Zorsek.
Vexler's dead.
Yeah, that's the consul. Yeah, he wanted to be notified when y'all got here. He gets up, shakes hands, or clasps forearms. Thanks you again for coming. He's delighted to have you. He knows Vexlorp. We're happy to speak with you again now that he's had some time to recover. And there's going to be lots of people at the party that want to speak to you, talk to you in person. And he introduces you, around to, like, some of the security people. Just so if anything happens, you know who they are. So here's the head of here's our head of security. Here the security guys, they're not wearing like badges out where they can be seen, but they've got them like tucked inside collars where they can like unfold a collar. They can flash a badge if they or an ID kind of thing if they need to. So it's like anybody wearing one of these, it's our security. We don't really expect anything to go down tonight. I'll admit, a small part of why I invited you here was kind of as a deterrent. She's had 2 bad encounters with you. Surely she won't try anything tonight.
Oh, I'm sure.
And if she does, then you're your own hand. So
honestly, just by being here, if she shows up and sees us, I hope she'll just decide to turn around. Because she's even admitted to herself that she can't handle us.
She's probably gotten used to being the only power person on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So do your people have a method for becoming empowered, or is it just something in your genetics where you have a higher probability of it?
Bit of a mix. Really.
Universally, I think we're kind of on the upper level of random genetic powers.
Oh, okay.
Like we've seen worlds that have equivalent to us, but we're not super duper common.
I see.
In our world, are there a lot of are there any number of heroes who have deliberately given themselves superpowers for experimentation, or is it all mutations and accidents?
The majority would be accidents. You've had super soldier programs, and they've been a mixed bag. a lot of people transformed due to genetic, or due to accidents and experiments that went wrong, where they were experimenting for something else, but an accident happened. You have a handful that were trying to give themselves powers and succeeded, though not always in the way they wanted to succeed. But nobody has a tried and true, we can just pump these guys out method yet. It's something basically all first world governments are working on, but denying that they are working on. Unison is aware that Spear basically got busted for that just recently.
Yeah. Good old Spear.
Oh, did you tell us the details? Like, you told us that Primus was alive. But did you fill us in on the details that Spear was involved in, like, shoving him in a tube and doing weird shit to him?
In explaining that I'm still on probation for punching out a high-ranking Spear official over it, I probably gave more details about, he's in a secret lab being experimented on rather than just being released to his family.
Right. No, I think you actually, I think I remember that from that session.
Yeah, that was the explanation for why he punched out I believe it was a senator. One of the senators in charge of Spear. Or one of in the oversight committee for Spear, anyway. It wasn't somebody that necessarily had the day-to-day runnings of it.
I don't much care for the man here or there, but he doesn't deserve to be put in a test tube. But this is a party. We probably don't need to talk about that here.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Consul is fascinated by this.
Makes me glad I'm an agent of Shark and not Spear.
Oh, I mean, like, if the consulate wants to hear, like, the story of what happened with the universe almost ending, I'll gladly tell them about it. Because, like, within the Milky Way, can you see it with a telescope? The kind of cut in the universe that happened?
Well, no, because it was just sort of blackness on blackness. Up close, the rift looked darker than the space around it. Which is weird and, like, probably physics-defying. But at the kind of distance that this place is, they wouldn't have seen it.
But kind of the scar from it still exists, though, right?
The scar from it is detectable with certain scientific...
Oh, okay.
And probably magical means.
Would these people have it? The means to be able to see it?
If they were right up on it, they probably have sensors that could pick it up. At this distance, probably not.
Yeah. But give them a shortened version of that story of, like, that's... These things that are supposed to show up and, like, restart universes accidentally got woken up early. Let them know what the name of it, the quail kicks.
The quail kicks, yes.
Yeah. And, we now have, like, a closed up tear in the universe within traveling distance of our planet, which is not so great.
Yeah, it was like was it out around the Oort cloud? It was like at the edge of the solar system, I think.
Yeah.
So you can see where a lot of people in the room hearing this story look a little doubtful, because it sounds like a tall tale.
No, yeah.
But you've got, like, one of their little assistant guys, somebody in the room, not one of the security guys, but clearly, like, somebody that works for the Consul. He's fascinated. He looks a little doubtful. And you give him more details, and he gets a little more thoughtful. You see him looking on his...
What was the race of the space... Not the space vampires, quote unquote, who do all who wanted human blood to work with?
The Starforgers?
Oh, the guild. Yeah.
I explained that, the Star Forgers were in discussions with our world, and then when that tear started to show up, they immediately bolted.
Now, the Star Forgers they're passingly familiar with.
But
they
yeah,
don't they don't purchase a lot from them, but they are aware of the species.
That was kind of the event that caused our entire planet to kind of unify our heroes for a while, and immediately use all of us as an active combative resource against a problem. We had been kind of just individuals doing our individual things and forming small collectives, and then, our world had a wake-up call that all hands had to be on deck for.
I wonder if there'll be a long-term repercussion, long-term kind of overall unification of your planet. And like he references the history of their people and how they eventually came to be like one unified, planetary government as opposed to the mishmash of governments that you have on Earth. And on a lot of other planets. In their who are in the earlier stages of history.
I'm hoping once humanity hits a post expansion that an Earth hegemony or a unified Earth would be more likely in my eyes.
Maybe not. And the guy that was tapping away on his thing, he waits for a break in the conversation, and then he starts asking you details about the time that this took place. How long ago was that?
How many? I've seen. Are there days within a couple hour range of hours, or
you have your little computers, whatever's got the cross translation devices and stuff in there. You've been on this planet long enough that it has synced up and it can adjust the dates. It can translate. You can put in your date and it will translate their date.
Yeah, I'll give the rough dates and be like, the time frame of us fighting, of it starting to open to us closing it.
He looks over at the consoles like, this matches up the time frame when we saw the Tuatha doing massive ship movements. Basically it's like there was some stuff they observed around that same time period that, it's like, oh, the Tuatha were having like a big reaction to something, but we weren't sure what. And then it's like everybody in the room's kind of like, oh, maybe these guys aren't exaggerating, or thinking something that was a local problem was a bigger problem,
And then, of course, we'll have to mention the invasion that we saved the galaxy from.
Well, they were already somewhat aware of that war, and you had filled them in on that when you first showed up in explaining how it is that you became lost in this area, or not lost, but off course.
Yeah, I'm fearful about our individual nations on our planet trying to use this as military resources. It's happened before on small scale, so there are worries about that.
World War II, a small scale. Galactically speaking, I guess it was.
Small scale of there were not large organized regimented forces of powered.
No, you did not have divisions of super people.
Yeah.
And the forces they did have mostly canceled each other out. So he chit chats with you a little bit more, then he lets you get to party. You should go mingle, have some drinks, relax. So y'all go back down.
Is it all right if I spread out in this party, talking to the consulate?
Yes, actually, the guests would probably be delighted to see multiples of you walking around.
As he says it, I'll let the members of Unison just kind of spread out. Just
a couple of the security guys kind of jump when you do that. Not like jumping over their weapons, but it just sort of startles them when they're suddenly like multicolored extra U's standing around. The consul himself just looks delighted to see it up close.
Yeah, on Earth, I had to keep it hidden that this was a natural ability of mine. So I had this whole... A lot of people probably still actually believe that on Earth. I probably need to talk to them about it. They believed I was part of a secret underground organization that had technology that would teleport people in.
He's like, because yes, I've read the report. Some on your people, or some of the stuff you were saying on the whole keeping your identity secret and this, that, and the other. It's fascinating stuff. Feel free to keep them in character or keep yourselves in character. If you want, that would probably be even more amusing to the people of the party. Or explain it. It's completely up to you. It's just, you get the impression that he's, aside from the potential security issues, he's super happy to have y'all here, just as like a little bow on top of what was otherwise going to be a pretty decent party anyway. But
yeah, it's
now
like,
people are really talking about it.
It's being the first person to show someone a giraffe. Where it's like, oh, I've never seen this animal before. That's pretty neat. I get it.
Yeah, or at least having like a celebrity. Well, actually, the giraffe thing probably works pretty good. Yeah, this is a nice party, but Zorsek had superpowered aliens that he is. You've got a nice sculpture. It's just not it just doesn't compete. But then y'all are kind of taken back downstairs, to mingle and talk as you like. Let's see. Omniglot. She wanders off, and she's really doing kind of a social butterfly thing. It's like she'll kind of drift over and chat with this group a little bit, and drift over and chat with this group a little bit. Unison, you've seen her do this sort of thing before. She's getting the lay of the land and finding out kind of who's who. And if you had to bet, she will eventually settle in. If she finds some academics, she will eventually settle in with them. Because she likes getting experts in a subject talking about the subject they're experts in. That way, after she's done talking to them, she's an expert. Or close to it. How does Bruce handle this party?
He's going to be hanging out by the food.
So he's just standing there eating and talking to whoever walks up to him.
Yeah, he'll certainly... He's more than happy to chat people up and talk about being a shark. And being a hero back home.
And some people have superhero questions to ask you about. Some people just ask you generally about Earth. Plenty of people, want to know what a shark is, and they're confused by your explanation. Not that they don't get the concept of a shark. Most worlds have some version of a shark. But how you think you're a shark. Some of them want to know if the fin's attached or if it's something you're wearing.
I'll take it off to show them it's not actually part of my head.
You get asked several times, how does it stay on?
Shh, that's a secret.
So you're having a good time. The people talking to you seem to enjoy it. Like I said, you've got a steady stream of people come out to talk to you. The servers, you're close to the food, but the servers keep bringing you more as you need it. Unison, what are you doing at the party?
Chatting, entertaining, playing the parts and keeping my eyes open for anyone who begins to move and then stops and starts to move in like weird possessed ways.
Okay.
Because like she could have done that magic to anybody. So keeping an eye out to see if she just went for a secondary option that she knew would be at the party and we didn't hear about it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an awareness roll.
14, because I am paranoid.
It's one of your superpowers.
It's one of my qualities.
All right, where did I put my utility? Empty utility sheet. There we go. All right. So you're walking around, you're mixing with the party, you're keeping your eyes out. You do spot something. I'll let you know what it is in just a second. Let me see what everybody else is doing at the party. Mike, what is Independence Ray? How is he? What is he doing? How is he mingling?
He will hobnob. He's going. First of all, let me make sure. Okay, yeah, I haven't frozen up, have I?
No.
Oh, good. So he's going to focus on what he can figure out to be like the political leaders. And first of all, in response to whoever was talking about antsiness regarding the idea of militarized supers, I feel like Independence Ray would be feel duty bound to at least bring up the positives of the concept, such as the instilled discipline that is often lacking in what can be kind of a ragtag misfit bunch of accidental people who are given like amazing powers.
You know, like all you guys that were in Spear when I joined up.
Exactly. And then after that, he would focus on hobnobbing with what he perceives to be the political leaders,
Okay.
and he'd kind of like subtly, kind of like give the same pitch he gave to Malaub in the last issue about how we on Earth had a lot of people on Earth were frightened by a superpowered minority, and how our planet has kind of struggled to gradually win comfort and acceptance from the masses.
Okay.
And he might be honest about the struggle, but it's not. But I would just share that experience just to counter their seeming policy of shoot first, ask questions later.
So it's pretty easy to spot the political leaders. They tend to be the ones with bodyguards.
Sure.
Occasionally maybe you get like a business owner or something by mistake, but yeah. Give me a willpower roll to see how well you kind of get your points across.
I'm good at tag. Yeah, I'll go ahead and activate my proud gay American unit
Quality or
quality. Yeah, specifically the proud American aspect of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe the whole shebang. Just to kind of like present my background of being very optimistic about plurality and the whole melting pot ideal. So we still have the same. Our determination count still carries over, right? Because this is technically still the same adventure, right? The stamina would have healed up, but what about the determination count? Would that stay the same?
Yeah, go ahead and be filled back up. Y'all had a day's rest, and this has been kind of an extended story. So,
well, in that case, I'm definitely spending a determination point
okay.
to give myself a +2 on this run. So let me type that in manually. And it's not, and also this time this isn't really leadership because I'm not a recognized leader. So,
But you're talking to leaders. You know how to talk to them. You know the kind of things they'd be concerned about. You know the kind of, at least the ones back home. You kind of know how you would need to present stuff to this sort of person. So I'd let you go ahead and throw that in there.
Okay. Thank you. So that's going to be an additional +1. And oops, it's a D6, not D5. And let's see what happened. Oh, look at that. Rolled
All
a-
right, so that is a major success. So you're making arguments that are well thought out, very smoothly delivered. They seem to be receptive to it. And as you talk to the leaders, more and more you get the impression that like nobody in modern day has had any sort of, there haven't been enough superpowered people for there to really be any prejudice against them, particularly. People are afraid of Malab because she shows up and does a bunch of weird stuff and hurts people.
If anything, I would tastefully suggest that that one extreme example. There may be others. Well, oh boy. Well, I got a major success, so I'll feel safe in planting this idea in their heads that there may be others who are just in hiding because they've seen what happens to admittedly a bad apple example, as we say. Uh, so that's there may be others in hiding, but I just to keep in mind that that kind of like a plurality we've tried to exercise on my homework can work out all right, or certainly at least avoid the problems of constant warfare.
Yeah, yeah. And you talk. I mean, and you talk about there will be bad apples, but if there were
Well,
other
that'd
people,
be,
and you get some of them talking, some of them like, if there are more people like her who are just keeping their heads down and trying not to be noticed, if we'd had some of them like actively working with us or working with universities to try to understand what they could do, we might have had people that could, we might have been able to deal with this woman Malab, more efficiently. We might have had local individuals that could handle dealing with her. Maybe even have talked her down.
Maybe, right. Well, I'd humbly suggest that maybe they're just waiting for the right leader to make that step. If presented in an honest, in a way of, in an honest spirit of communication and working to find common ground, and not just as a lure to imprison people or worse.
Yeah, and there's a few. You're moving from group to group, but and a few of those groups are talking about we could start they're talking about like we could get such and such university to maybe start a study and just put out the word. Hey, if anybody knows something in this on this subject matter, anyway, they get volunteers. Ray, this day may have started parapsychology as a subject
You're
of
right.
this world.
I'm counting on the fact that this will have many, often unintentional consequences. I would also even push further and suggest that if you want people to feel comfortable with this kind of like government study, finding a peaceful resolution with Malab would go a long way towards making make fostering an environment where that's even possible. Otherwise, they'd just be afraid to turn themselves in.
Well, nobody has any ideals of anything they did that set Malab off. Like the stuff the witch hunts, the stuff she references, it's hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I mean, that's it'd be like somebody suddenly popping up in our world using real magic and complaining about the Inquisition. From the Middle Ages, from the late Middle Ages, it's like yeah, that was definitely a bad thing, but like nobody involved in that is, they're not alive. Their grandkids aren't still alive. It just,
Yeah, I don't doubt that she's probably exercising personal demons. through the frame of a historical grievance, that might be a clue for how to deal with her in a maybe more productive manner.
Well, they have certainly had psychologists trying to, what are these called? Do up profiles.
Psychoanalyze?
Yeah, do up profiles on her. And obviously, if she was arrested, psychiatric care is part of that. Obviously, right?
Is it obvious to her?
No, they're looking at Ray like your people do that too, right? If you get arrested, there's psychology, psychological help involved.
Sure.
So sometimes.
Well, from Ray's perspective, he's got to keep it again optimistic and ultimately bound to defend the status quo.
No, of course we don't. The prison complex needs recidivism.
Yeah.
Think of all the money they would lose otherwise.
Yeah, how are we going to keep increasing shareholder value if we don't have a constant supply of prisoners? No, he doesn't go. He doesn't.
Suddenly, everything about us makes a lot more sense. We're from a planet of psychopaths.
Ray's really building up Earth's reputation on this visit. They're going to be so disappointed when they actually visit. So Recluse, what are you doing at the party?
Enjoying being at a party where people are interested in him, where he is not actively having to be this great big mutant spokesman, where he's not trying to grease up the wheels on some bit of legislation or whatever. But also at the same time, he is still dropping bits and pieces here. Then hey, there might be unique people, not necessarily magical, that are just still hiding out, because there's been no real reason for them to come out of hiding, or they've been hiding out of fear, given historical precedent. It's kind of like what Ray's been doing, just at a little bit more of a laid back pace.
Okay, give me a willpower roll.
And would persuasion factor into this?
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Massive success.
Oh.
They're all doing this, great PR work, trying to, what's the word? I don't know. Try and promote metahumans and stuff, and then Land Shark's here like, yeah, and then there's that time I went to jail because I kind of make a mess of things.
Jerry was saying most people with unusual capabilities are just trying to get through the day. It's
Right.
So Ray is basically preaching to the powerful. Recluse is just, doing kind of the same thing, but just anybody that walks up.
If it comes up in conversation.
Unison is kind of smoozing and entertaining people. While keeping a lookout, and then Bruce is just being Bruce. So nice guy, entertaining. Everybody walks away kind of going, I like him, but I don't quite know what to make of him. So that goes on for a while. Unison, when all of the U's are looking, or keeping their eyes out, heads on swivels, that sort of thing. And what's it? You got I rolled a 12.
14.
You rolled a 14.
12.
All right, so beat it by 2. So you notice Vexlorp show up at the party. Come downstairs probably. And he catches sight of one of you. Oh, one of the Unisons. Just because y'all are probably the brightest colored of everybody. And one of the other U's sees him. When he sees one of you, for a brief moment, he doesn't look particularly happy. It's not like a real strong emotion. You just happen to notice him. You were looking right at his face when he noticed one of you. And his face kind of falls for a second before he puts the "I'm at a party" smile back on his face. And when he notices one of you looking in his direction, he gives a friendly wave. He comes down. Bruce is actually the first one that he walks up to. The stairs he came down were over on the side close to the food. So he goes by and gets a drink. Bruce, Vexlorp, the guy y'all rescued the day before, walks up. "Oh, I'm so glad you came back to the party. It's good to see you again. Thank you again for saving me." Don't know what that crazy lady was doing, riding on me with a knife. Oof. Oof.
You're saying that to
Bruce. Bruce is the first one he approaches.
Yeah. He said that's what we do. We're here to fight evil.
He makes a little more small talk. You're here to fight evil. Nice job if you can get it, I guess. And he chats a little bit with whoever was happened to be around you.
But, hopefully, what's her? I can't pronounce her name right. The witch.
That is Malab.
Malab. It's like hopefully Malab will calm down and change her ways some.
Maybe she will. Maybe she will. I certainly wouldn't expect her at this party.
No.
Not after Father, announced that you would all be here.
I think she's smarter than that.
Oh, surely. It's not like she would use. It's not like somebody It's not like somebody smart enough to avoid the authorities all this time would use just the same tactic over and over again when it was failing.
I'll start asking lots of questions about what I'm eating and drinking.
Well, that's, he rattles off the name of this thing. Your translator basically translates it into, such and such wine. They have their equivalent of like white and red wine, categories they, how they divide up, their drinks. He identifies some of the the baseline foods pretty easily. He does tell you there's one little some kind of spread that you put on, like it's kind of like a cracker, something between a cracker and like just a flatbread. That you put some kind of spread on. That when he tells you what that is, one of the other people standing around you corrects him. Oh no, that's this and such. And they're naming off stuff you're not going to retain at all. But
No.
The couple of things that Bruce really likes, he may remember what they're called. But
And if the description of something is particularly gross.
And some of it probably
after he's
is.
eaten it.
Oh, well, you see, that is the such and such fruit that you feed to this variety of fish, and then when it's about half digested, you take that fish's stomach out. I mean, these days we do it with lab-grown organs and no actual whole fish is involved, but But it's an ancient delicacy that goes back quite some time. But all you're really hearing is this half-digested fruit we pulled out of a fish gut. it's fermented ever so slightly. So up to him, up to Bruce if he wants to keep eating that or not.
Yeah. Move on to something else, maybe.
It's a shame. It was quite tasty. But as soon as he gets a chance, he kind of, must go visit with other guests. Very good to see you again, though. Unison, if you're keeping your eye on him, you know he's a little relieved to be getting away from Bruce.
And the thing about it is, he's so used to people doing that he wouldn't even think twice about it.
Oh, Unison's probably used enough to seeing people do that with Bruce that he's not.
He's a good puppy.
For just a second, I thought you were talking about the Vexlorp. I was like, what? But no. He moves over to recluse to one of the groups you're talking to. Slides into the conversation pretty smoothly. Does take the opportunity to thank you again for saving him, and thanks again for showing up at the party. Father was very excited to have you all here.
Oh, I'd imagine. Not often you get space aliens, and local heroes of the same all-in-one package.
Indeed.
So you holding up all right?
Yes. It was very alarming when she grabbed me, but the part underground, I was unconscious for most of that, so it's not a lot of scarring memories or anything. She didn't really hurt me other than the little scratches she was putting on me.
Those are at least healing up, right? Healing up, okay, right? No.
Oh yes, yeah. They're not going to scar anything.
Well, if one of them opens up into an eye, you should probably get that checked out with a doctor. You never know with this magic stuff.
Oh, is that a thing on your world?
It really depends on the spellcaster and, their method of using magic. And what are they channeling this time? Is it, the primordial powers of the cosmos, or do they cut a deal with something horrible and be tentacled from beyond the skein of sanity or something,
Well, I didn't think the power of primeval was magical particularly.
Oh, no, not that.
Oh.
I imagine there's probably at least one or two spellcasters who figured out how to poke it in the right way to channel it.
Oh, really? Interesting. But I won't take up too much of your time. I just wanted to come by and say thanks again. Please keep enjoying the party.
Not a problem, and you take care, all right?
And he slips off, talks to some other group. Unison, he does at some points come by and talk to you, shake your hand.
Is it in a group setting, or?
Where's the real you at?
Gray Unison will kind of keep a bit to himself, because I am more on lookout than I am and also Unit is kind of the most boring and kind of flat of the characters, so
he comes by and shakes Unit's hand then.
I'm glad to see you're doing well.
Yes. There was no real physical injury. It was a horribly jarring affair. But a night at home, resting and relaxing. I'll be a little paranoid to go anywhere without some security for the foreseeable future, but
making sure there's not people eavesdropping for just a moment, I will kind of take a serious tone to be like, is what I said, in that underground place, was that in some way, did I offend you?
Okay, remind me, what was it you said in the underground place?
Well, I remember while underground, I had mentioned something about she's someone who was just downstairs and read a book, and anyone could potentially have read this and done what she's doing. And that was the first time I caught with awareness that he was looking at me angrily.
Oh, no. I don't even know what it was you could have said that would have offended me.
Okay. There is a bit of a hypersensitivity in me about people looking at me in specific ways that I've noticed that you are slightly angry with me, but I don't know why, because I haven't been here long enough to know what I could have done that could be offensive to your people.
Give me a willpower roll. And he's basically like, oh, well, not meaning to, not trying to talk down to you or anything. But is it possible, given that we're different species, that you're just maybe you've misread the expression a little bit?
All right. On the roll, you got that 11, correct?
Yes.
All right. I rolled the 12 below it.
All right. So you just barely beat. You get the impression he knows what you're talking about, and he's trying to just pass it off as maybe just he's a little embarrassed. But he definitely just doesn't want you to think about it too much. And in that vein, immediately change the subject. I noticed you're standing here kind of alone, or at least the main you is over here alone. But sure you don't want to mingle a little bit? Your friends seem to be having a great time.
I'll point to the copies of me. All of us are interconnected mentally. I'm having 6 conversations, including this one, concurrently.
Oh. Well, I guess you're having more fun than anyone else at the party then. If you'll excuse me, I still need to go speak with your friend Recluse. And then there's some local boars, frankly, that I need to speak with.
Understood. Do apologize. When you see her again, do apologize for me.
Of course. Though hopefully I will not see her again. Ever? And then he turns and he walks towards Recluse. One of the other youths, if you can see his face, there's a slight concerned look on his face. But by the time he gets to Recluse, he's back to I'm at a party smile face. And Recluse, he slips into the conversation you're in. Where you'd been talking about there could be small pockets of people, with abilities or whatever. And one of the ladies in that little group starts talking to you about, basically, it sounds like she's talking about psychics.
Mm-hmm.
There's like old folk tales of people that they weren't doing spells or things like that, woman. But people that knew things ahead of time, or like I said, it sounds like folklore about people with the sight.
I just let her know. Yeah, it's not super uncommon on Earth, but like depending on the basically intensity of their power, it's hard to tell. Okay, is this actual telepathy, or is it just someone who is really good at reading people, or subconscious pattern recognition?
Yeah, she got nodded her head. She knows a few more stories and kind of stuff. And it's like one thing you'd pick up having these conversations with people. They are aware that psychic powers are real.
Mm-hmm.
Other species are much more psychically gifted than theirs. It's just that sort of thing doesn't reliably pop up in their people. So, like, when their folklore talking about these kind of people, they don't know if maybe it's true. And there's just, it was just always a small number, or maybe they bred that out unintentionally at some point. Where magic, you get the impression they don't believe it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Even with this woman running around, people that don't experience her firsthand a lot of times try to make the argument that she's probably just using some sort of technology. She may have gone off world and gotten something more advanced than what we have here. That's why we can't figure it out, or.
And in total fairness to them, she might just be drawing on the Starsheet's power to do things that we're not necessarily aware a Starsheet can do.
That's fair. Because the people in this world don't know much more about them than you do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more aware of their, they have been aware of their existence for a long period of time. But the Tawana went, hey, please don't mess with these things. They went, well, okay, we weren't planning to, but cool.
It's a case of, yeah, she might be magic, or it might be something else. It's just, a great big X factor right now. But yeah, magic is real, and blah, blah, blah.
And, while you're having that conversation, Vexlorp, he walks up, slides in the conversation, he nods along. One of the stories that Lady tells, he's like, oh, yes, I've heard that one. And, rattles off a slightly different version of a variation of it that he'd heard. And then when he gets the opportunity, Recluse, he thanks you for coming to the party. It means a lot to his father. Thank you again for rescuing me.
Mm-hmm.
Shakes hands or does that whole forearm clasp thing they do.
Yeah.
Give me... Let's see... Sorry, I was going to take a look at your character sheet, but boy, do I have to scroll down a long way to find Recluse. Almost like he's at the bottom of the list because he's one of the oldest characters in my Roll20. Give me an awareness roll.
Sure. Factoring anything else to that? Occult, investigation... Oh God!
Bless you.
Oh, I felt that in the back of my head.
No, just awareness, I guess.
Not a problem. That's a 9.
Oh, I should probably roll a difficulty myself then. Alright, so that is a 9, so that is a tie. A marginal success. So he shakes your hand and makes his excuses to go mingle with the rest of the party.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't put your finger on it, but something just seems ever so slightly off.
I look at my sleeve. I just, look at my sleeve, roll my forearm over a couple times, check out both sides. Like, did he leave a stain or something?
No, you don't. There's nothing on you. There was no weird sensation when y'all shook hands. It's like if this was a movie, your character just be sitting there looking at him, walk away, kind of going, enough that the audience would go, okay, he's suspicious of something.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing you can put your finger on.
I don't got a marker, love.
Well, if you don't have one, she wants you to get up and find her one.
Oh.
Or she'll dig through your drawers to find it herself, one or the other.
I did, in fact, have a marker. Remember, only on your coloring book, okay?
She is a
There was
true.
just a grunt.
She is a true artist. The walls are her coloring book.
It's they're easy to clean, at least. Rico was just gonna kind of ride off. He's had a long couple days. Probably throwing this whole vibe off.
So y'all mingle a little bit longer. The consul comes out. He starts giving a speech, or it's not a long speech, but he starts talking, welcoming everybody to the thing, talking about what this event is about, and it's some local political stuff. Nothing doesn't sound like anything too major. There's some charitable work going on, yada yada yada. In his speech, you get the impression that basically like that maybe there's an election coming up. That's not like super imminent, but he just kind of mentions it. Mentions a few things he's done during this term, kind of thing. Him and the other consuls. It's more than just him. As he starts talking, Vexlorp goes up and kind of stands next to him, and he gets into the events of the previous day, and he thanks you publicly in front of everybody. And how lucky they are that they had such visitors on hand in this emergency. And undoubtedly they will eventually, not you, talking about the authorities will eventually bring this woman to justice, get her the help that she obviously needs. He is in fact going to put forward not a petition, a plan of action. He's going to suggest to his fellow consuls that they form some sort of board of study to look into these unusual matters. As speaking to their guests, they're from a world where multiple individuals with multiple kinds of power. So he may start a study just to see if anything like that exists on their world. Just a better understanding to make sure, if there are, to make sure these people don't feel marginalized, don't feel like they must hide. He would hate for one very visible bad apple to scare other people, into hiding any gifts they have. And there's a smattering of applause. Everybody's polite. This isn't like a political rally where people are really jazzed up for the political part of it. They're mostly here for the party. But at the conclusion of that, you start having like a live band play. The local music style is not something that you think would be popular on Earth. Odd is the best way to describe it. It's like you'll have a burst of music, and then it's almost like what do they call it? When you have like the poet, people would just stand, like the beatniks would do, where you just stand up.
Speakeasy?
What now?
You talking about slam poetry?
Sort of. It's like you'll have music, and then you'll have somebody do some talking that's more or less poetry. And then
like a speakeasy rap. Maybe
a speakeasy rap if it was very slow paced. If William Shatner was doing a rap.
Sounds genuinely horrible to sit through.
People around here seem to like it, but
I actually enjoy listening to some William Shatner. I'm not gonna lie. You all shouldn't be surprised by that, but
well, then you might like it. you don't think it would be generally popular on Earth. But so yeah, after the speech, he introduces. It's apparently it's somebody, a fairly famous performer performing. And then the consul and his son, they step back off that little balcony area, and back into the living quarters, where y'all were initially brought in and introduced, or not introduced, but brought in, and y'all talked to him. The performance goes on for about an hour, and then blessedly it is finally over. All of you have people asking, "Oh, how did you like the performance?" They're one of the greatest.
Do you think they'll do karaoke?
I gently put a hand on Landshark's shoulder. We know none of the songs.
Oh, they probably don't know our songs either.
That would be correct. And this does not feel like an appropriate time for us to bust out the music made by professionals of our race in music. We're professional heroes, not entertainers. Except me, who is in fact a paid entertainer.
I don't know. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. And you all are not familiar with the song, but there's an artist from New Zealand called Jen Wigmore, and she has a song called Black Sheep, and I am certain that Bruce would do a cover of it and make it Black Shark.
A second unison will walk up and put a hand on the other shoulder of Landshark. No, we will not.
I think there's also a movie from New Zealand called Black Sheep.
There's also a song from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World called Black Sheep.
Probably not as good as the movie. The movie's about were-sheep.
Ooh.
Or infected zombie sheep or something like that.
Hey, I may have seen that.
Yeah.
Not to sidetrack the game, but yeah, I think I've seen that.
Everything I hear about is a very low-budget movie. Where it's like the characters question some of the weirdness. Like one dude gets stripped down nude but still manages to pull out guns from somewhere, and the other characters are literally looking at him going, "Where were you hiding those?"
Major's pocket.
Great, now I've distracted myself. Where was I? Oh, yes.
As they asked how we felt about the performance, Humankind has had similar performances, but they're not currently in fashion on Earth. But I think it would take more time for a better understanding of what is being referenced, because common culture is just different between us. But
so you're very diplomatic about it.
It's an understandable format, and I can see it's been in. A format like this has been enjoyed by humans before. It's just not currently in fashion.
Yeah. And the ones that are into music, they completely understand how the styles of music come and go in popularity. So so you get asked stuff, about what if you can describe some of the current styles, this thing. But basically more mingling. It's just the subject matter. The subject matter y'all are dealing with now a lot of times turns to kind of artistic endeavors. Zach, give me a roll with your danger sense.
Sure. That will actually be just awareness because it's hot. Oh no, they're both the same rate. I'll just roll with awareness.
You can throw your occult. You can throw your occult into this.
Oh, nice. That'll make it
13?
13. Yep. Ooh, just edged it out.
A lot of 6s getting rolled today.
Mm-hmm. You need love?
She just sounds so adorable.
She's certainly something.
You are sensing danger. Something is going wrong. Something is not right. You know, for a moment, it almost feels surreal because you're in such a relaxed environment. Everybody's just having a good time. Everybody's just chatting. Nobody else seems to be alarmed.
I am going to give like a hand signal to the rest of the team. Just one of the ones I probably toss up whenever I feel something unfortunate is about to happen.
See, I'm picturing Recluse. When you say that, I'm picturing Recluse tilting his head back and then flapping his arms, panicking Kermit the Frog style. That's the signal that something's going on. Something's gone wrong.
Just, probably just holding up like 3 fingers or something like that, but 3's a magic number. I just politely inform the people surrounding us some. You all might want to start heading somewhere more comfortable or more safe. There's I have an ability that lets me know that unfortunateness is about to occur, or a danger is drawing near and all that. So we might be having some very unpleasant companies.
So some of the people just look at you kind of confused, like what? A couple of them, it's kind of like, and they start drifting back towards the door. You notice the one lady you were talking to earlier that had brought up psychics? She didn't hear. She's far and away. She probably didn't hear you talking, but she's got a concerned look on her face, and she keeps glancing up the stairs, which is kind of where your danger sense is pulling. That's kind of where the wrongness feels like it's coming from.
Gonna gesture towards the stairs and start heading over there, and whenever I get by her, I'm gonna pat her on the shoulder and say, "You got a little bit of a tingle to you, a little bit of a touch of something to you, don't you?"
Sometimes I feel weird right before something, before something bad happens.
Yeah, same. It's something's going on up there. My advice is, if you have anyone you care about at this party, go on and grab them, head to your transport, head on home. Oh, and do grab some more of those hors d'oeuvres. Like, they're really good out here.
She ignores the last part, but she does seem to be trucking it over to where some other people are. How are the rest of you reacting to Recluse giving you the trouble sign?
I think Bruce misses it.
Where's Vexlorp?
Last you saw him, he was standing next to his father, and then they both stepped back into the living quarters, which is up the stairs and kind of where Recluse seems to be headed.
I'll set one in a chair and just send an apparition up there.
So you get up there, basically back to the office that y'all were, the kind of office study area. Small library. It was actually a pretty large room. But where y'all were taken and met with the consul earlier. There's a lot of security guys standing in front of the door. And I mean, they are alert. They're looking around, but other than that, they are like stock still. Like they are really, really focused.
Am I able to drift past them, or do they notice the ghost?
Unless you're intentionally making it visible, they do not see you.
All right, cool.
You drift into the study. There are his assistant or whoever it was that you spoke to, that figured out the Tawana thing in connection to the the rift you were telling him about. Him and a few other people like him are sitting on some of the little, like, not a couch, almost like more of a love seat as far as the size goes. But they're sitting there and they're leaned back. They seem to be asleep. The consul is behind a desk, kind of lean back in his chair a little bit. Vexlorp is standing next to him with one hand, like he's standing on his right side, or with one hand reaching around and on his left shoulder, and the other hand he's got like 3 fingers touching his forehead, and he seems to be whispering into his ears. The consul's eyes are open but not focused.
I will gently float next to Vexlorp's ear. And I guess I'll just speak to him while communicating to the team that Vexlorp is doing something to his father that, by all appearances, is more magic or mental, one or the other. And should I go ahead and pop him and us get a move on, or should we just let whatever craziness is happening happen and go home?
That sounds like a decision for the team leader. You're muted, Micah.
I sure am. Sorry about that. Thank you. So I'm going to say definitely stop what's going on, because I can only guess at this point that Vexlorp is carrying out some kind of post-hypnotic suggestion.
All right.
Yeah, while we're here, we should definitely try to stop it.
My projection will go ahead and half shout in Vexlorp's ear. Hey, Vexlorp, what you doing, buddy?
Give me a willpower roll. Let me see if you can startle him.
$11. Let's go, baby.
He gives a start. He stumbles a little bit over what he's saying. And you see the consul kind of, it's like his eyes focus for a second. But then Vexlorp starts chanting, starts the whispering again, and he kind of zones back out. And Vexlorp cuts a mean look over in the direction the voice came from. I don't know if you became visible when you did that or if you just spoke. But
I'll leave it as just speaking.
But he's talking faster now. And since you're in your astral projection, you don't have your translation gear translating anything.
Yeah, and it's probably I would assume it's magic anyway.
Downstairs, the rest of you have been alerted. Zach warned you that there was weirdness going on. Unison has let you know a few more specifics.
I'll flag down Bruce, since as I look over to Bruce, I'll assume he's looking like non-activated.
Yep, he's still munching away on food, surrounded by people.
I don't care if these are fish guts. They're pretty good.
I will tell him that there's a reckless detected danger, and I'll also offer to fly him up to the balcony where
Okay.
the frozen guards are.
Okay. All right, so you fly up to the balcony, and they're not frozen. They're just standing there on alert, but they're all standing very still. When the glowing U crests the top of the thing, all of them bring up weapons.
Okay, so they're in Source Order.
And one of
just under Vex. Mm-hmm.
But one of them says, "I'm sorry, sir. I mean, you'll need to return to the party." But he's got a real monotone to his speech.
All right. I'm going to give a flash and just try to blind them enough so that Bruce and I can just like sneak past or just
All right.
charge our way past them.
Is that a regular use of your ability, or are you power stunning?
Well, I guess in order to dazzle all of them, I would have to stunt it, right?
Let me look up dazzle right quick.
Because I'm pretty sure that's not a.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure
not a
dazzle
deal.
is a one-on-one, but let's double check. Dazzle, 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 dazzle. Yeah, so coordination is for coordination versus coordination. So yes, yeah, by default is a one. It's a one target ability.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and activate posting an alien and energy beam to stunt that.
Okay, so
Give off.
you're basically stunting the burst, the burst extra.
Yeah, and I'll give the code word, our pre-established code word to Bruce that says "Cover your eyes. I'm about to a dazzle."
All right, so
Then I
you scream
will,
Disco Inferno or something like that, and then you flare.
That's right.
Old Eminem game is what a buddy of mine used to. That was just the code word, Disco Inferno, and then he'd fire the big ball of light up above the fight. Ooh. I'm wearing headphones and I could hear the hard rain. Good. It's been really, really dry around here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So yeah, your power can affect everyone within close distance simultaneously. Roll one test for the power. So you'll roll once and then they'll all roll opposite, Okay. Oh, and you've made your roll, so they need to beat an 11. And these are just regular security guys. They've got some fancy tech, at least by Earth standards. But they're just the equivalent of, they're basically the equivalent of police. So their coordination. And there's 5 of them standing here in front of the door, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they all rolled poopy. So the best any of them rolled still gives you a massive success.
Okay, so that's okay. Well, basically that's the same, I believe.
I think so. I'm looking it up again because I didn't think to look at that the first time I looked it up. Massive success. The target is dazzled for the entire chapter. Dazzled characters have a +2 difficulty with actions relying on the dazzled sense and automatically fail awareness checks using it. Using an advantage to recover ends the dazzle immediately. But these guys are mooks, so it's not like I'm going to give them advantage or anything. So they can still act, but they have the +2 difficulty. So they're trying to shoot y'all. You would essentially have a +2 on any attempts to dodge it or whatever. All right, so Ray flew up. He shouted the command. All of y'all shielded your eyes. There's a big bright flash. A few people in the crowd probably did not shield their eyes properly.
Oh, well, that's fine. They can get blinded.
Now, some of them were far enough back that they probably weren't blinded, but you hear people like, ah! But by that point, you had, most everybody in the room was aware something was going on. So everybody's kind of backing up towards the door, towards the front doors. It's not a panic stampede yet. Everybody go ahead and roll me initiative. Let's see, let me roll 1 for the
Good for Ray.
guards. And then I'll need to roll 1 for Vork Slip. What's his face?
Excellent.
Vexlorp. I wanted very old school, campy, sci-fi names for these guys, and then I forget what they are. Have to go look at the notes every time. There's that. There's. Ooh, not a good roll for Vexlorp.
That's a good roll for us.
Look. There.
What a lanyard. Mm-hmm.
It's Ivy. No, wait.
And I'm just going to throw a cop down here to be the guards. Give him a turn.
Help me.
We'll just use that one for Vexlorp for no particular reason. Alright. What did Ray get? Ooh, Ray got a 13.
13.
That is good for Ray. Let's see. My guard's got a... Nope, not that one, that one. And then she got a... Or he got a... 5... Total of 6. Oh, wait, no, I counted their roll in. So they had an 8, she had a 6. And I did... Oh, crap, I deleted Ray's token. That's not good. Alright, so Ray had a 13. Land Shark had an 8. Unison had also an 8. Recluse had a
8.
Where is... Oh, you're up higher. Why are y'all all rolling the same?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody roll me a d6 for Omniglot.
That's a 1.
In true tradition, Zach rolls and then immediately decides that someone else should roll for Omniglot.
And in descending order. Alright, so Independence Ray, you go first.
All right, so I'm going to try to push through and get past the door.
Okay. So are you attacking these guys, or are you like flying over their head trying to bust through the door?
The ladder.
Okay. If you want, you can give me a strength roll to bust through the door, or you can, if you're just going to blast your way through, you can give me a roll with the power rank of your power, because you're not going to miss shooting the door. It's just whether it can withstand the blast one round or not.
Yeah.
All right, you get a success. So you fly over them, you blast the door. You hear a little pink, sound of metal, of like, a small bit of metal snapping. As the doors, as you broke basically you forced the lock on the door to break. And then the doors kind of fly open, slam open.
Dad,
And you see that you know, you see this room. There's people sleeping on the love seats. You see Vexlorp, you know, one arm around his father's shoulders, 3 fingers pressed into his forehead. I mean, not like sinking into his forehead, but up against his forehead, whispering in his ear. You know, he doesn't stop whispering, but he does turn to look at you. Kind of scowls up when he sees you. Recluse, you're up.
I'm just gonna barrel through any guard still in the way and into the room.
Okay. So you jump up there, swing up there, whatever. All the guards are basically in the process of spinning around where Ray flew past them. So their backs are to you as you come up the top.
Yep, it's gonna linebacker shoulder check him.
All right. Are you basically like power stunting to hit them all at once?
Sure, let's go with that.
You know, like are you you're kind of like dropping your shoulder, but then throwing your arms wide, so you're just kind of catching everybody in a clothesline.
Yeah.
Because they were all kind of clustered up in front of the door. All right, so if you want to tap, what are you going to tap for the advantage?
Blessed by the crawling gods for all these muscles.
Fair enough.
Would that be prowess or just straight strength?
Well, it's still prowess. It's still prowess to make contact. It's just you're basically putting burst on your strength or on your attack or whatever.
Yeah, love.
And every one of them failed. So you do 8 points of damage to each of them, or are you at 9? How strong are you?
8 points of damage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be bumping up Recluse's strength any more than what it is. Like, this is, like, ideal. Any more is just being mean to you.
So, yeah, you just go plowing them. They just go flying. Some of them, you kind of knock. It's almost like a shotgun pattern. Some of them that fly off to the side hit the wall and flop down. Kind of in the hallway. Some of them go flying into the room, but they hit the ground. They're unconscious. And you see Ray floating there, all lit up. And, I've described a couple times what everybody else in the room is doing. Unison, you're up.
I'll let the apparition become visible next to Vexlorp. I'll just be like, Vexlorp, buddy, please. You have a shot in the dark of explaining what you're doing to us in a way that doesn't involve us fighting you. Please take a moment and try to talk us out of doing this.
I assume
I have the copies, as I have the rest of us slowly walking up the stairs.
Are they actually going slowly? Are they taking their time?
I mean, they're trucking at a decent pace.
Okay. All right. Landshark.
I'm assuming that we're not, if Unison's... I'm in the room, right? Because I was with Ray.
You're in the hallway with me, or when I flashed the guards.
Okay, so
then I'm going to go on into the room.
Yeah, okay. That's it. You're standing right outside.
And join Unison.
All right, so you walk into the room.
The Unison that's talking to Vexlor.
So that's like right up there at the consul's desk. I want Landshark to give me an awareness roll.
I'm sorry, did you say Landshark or...
Landshark.
Okay.
Yeah, respectable for Landshark, but
Yep. Unfortunately, they rolled max, so they got a 9, you got an 8.
Oh, but I was close. I gotta feel good about that.
Yeah. You have any specialties that would count into it?
No.
Okay.
Sculpture for, mostly shark statues and martial arts. That's it.
Okay. So yeah, something about the whispering.
Makes me tell you, he's got, keen shark senses, but he didn't spend points on them.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you get no special insight into what's going on. It looks weird to you. So are you just walking up next to Unison, or are you going to...
I'm gonna grab Vexlor.
All right, give
So
me
is the kid, right?
well, not a kid, but the son. It was an adult.
The son,
It was an
right,
adult
right.
son. He's in his 20s or whatever.
Right.
All right, give me a prowess roll then.
Martial arts, does that apply to it? Or that only if I'm punching?
It would have to be wrestling. If you're trying to grab somebody, that would have to be wrestling.
Yeah, okay. Nice try, though.
Always worth asking. Always worth asking.
Ooh.
All right, massive success. So you grab them up in a bear hug, or however you want to do it. Maybe you're grabbing their forearms and just picking them up. However you're doing it, you got them in a full hold.
Like, I'd listen to Uni. Now's a good time to talk.
Let's see. Next up are the guards. They're currently all unconscious. Omniglot was further from the stairs when all this happened, so she'll spend her entire round getting to the door of the room, basically. As you picked Vexlorp up, he was still just looking over at his father and whispering. And even as you pull him a little bit away from his father, he's still just whispering. But then he stops. He turns around. He looks at you, Landshark. Very well. Let's talk. Put me down. And I need you to roll. I think it's willpower. Let me see if it's versus willpower or versus... I think it's versus my power rank. Alright, yes, you need to roll me a willpower. And then I need to roll on the power. So 10 is the number to beat. So, alright, so beat you by 2, which is a moderate success. Alright, so you have the temporary quality controlled.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put you down.
So, yeah, place the control quality on the target. But we have to make a new mind control versus willpower test at the start of each of their pages to maintain it. Alright. So, what the rest of you see is, Landshark grabs him, goes, hey, basically you should listen to Unison when he says, let's just talk about it. He looks, Guy looks at Landshark and goes, "Okay, let's talk. Put me down." And Landshark, you won't actually put him on the, you won't actually let him go until it's your turn.
Okay.
Then it is Independence Ray's turn.
Okay, I see that he's giving. I see that his magic seems to rely on speaking. So let's. I think I'm just going to run up to him and just try to like cover his mouth, keep him from talking. Like even that means like holding his chin, like covering his mouth with one hand and then holding his chin, in place with the
Okay.
holding his jaw in place with the other.
All right, give me a prowess roll. If you've got wrestling, we'll count that. At the moment, he's still in a full hold. So, well, no, hold up. He's in a full hold. I don't think he can resist. Never mind. You just do it. If he was in a partial hold, he could resist, but he'd be at like a -2 or something.
Yeah. Now, Landshark is still under the compulsion, but at least.
But that's not obvious at this moment.
Oh, okay.
He went, "Hey, let's talk." The guy looked at him and, "All right, let's talk. Put me down."
Oh, that's true. Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'll do.
All right, Recluse, you're up.
Was there any way? Was there any way that did how he said "put me down" trigger any sort of this is a magic spell thing in Recluse's head? Like, did he say it weird, or is it just like a calm, steady?
Give me an
down?
awareness roll.
That's an 11.
No, just seemed like put me down.
All right.
Your danger sense is still going, but it's at that level that it's always at when there's something, when you're in a tense situation. It's nothing. It's not directing you towards a particular threat at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hair on the back of your neck standing up.
Vexlor, my guy, have you secretly been working with the Witch Queen this whole time, and everything with you being menaced by the dinosaur monster? Was that just part of a public show? What's going on here, buddy?
All right, and his immediate response is, and he kind of motions with his head over towards Ray, who's holding his mouth shut.
I think he's been casting spells. At least the guards out there seem pretty ensorcelled.
Yeah. Nod yes, a nod if you've been working with her. Shake your head if no.
Shakes his head no, as much as he can with Ray holding.
Maybe we should do the blink once, blink twice thing.
Well, you're holding his mouth shut. You can let him move enough to for him to shake his head no.
Okay. Sure, I'll.
Why are you doing wizard shit to your dad?
All
Oh, right, damn it.
right. See, I'll let you say one more thing, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, let's just go on.
Okay. Unison. Unison?
Did we lose Taylor? Oh, no.
I'm gonna walk up to the consulate and do a quick heal just to see if it can flush whatever's happened to him out so he's okay.
Okay. So you go up, you use your heal power. He does not seem like he's taking any physical damage. But where he was kind of, his eyes are blinking slowly, he seems kind of a little loopy, a little out of it. You do see him kind of sit up straighter, and he kind of blinks his eyes, he shakes his head, and he starts rubbing his eyes. So you think you brought him out of the groggy a little quicker.
Howdy, Mr. Consulate. Your son was doing odd magic stuff. We had to stop it for a minute. I'm terribly sorry for this.
Yeah, it was weird. People in the room started going to sleep. It's like, he's still kind of working to focus his eyes, but But he's coming. He's clearly coming out of it quickly. Whatever it was. Next up.
You suspect you're. Oops.
Next up is Landshark. Landshark, what are you doing?
I am letting Vexlor go.
All right, you set him down.
Wait.
Ray, you're a little surprised that Landshark lets go of him.
Mm-hmm.
Then it is the unconscious guards. Omniglot steps into the room. She basically goes, Landshark, you don't just put the guy down because he said to put... Oh, crap.
Like you don't?
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, Jason, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know my quality is controlled. Does that mean I'm just listening to his orders, or have I officially switched teams?
You are listening to his orders. You don't realize you've done anything... Now, you don't realize you've done anything odd.
I don't think I've done anything out of the ordinary.
You know, but you're not going to, like, slug your buddies unless he says slug your buddies.
Yeah, he said put me down. It sounded like a good idea, so I did it.
Oh, yeah, if we wanted to talk, we should, if he's going to be calm and talk to us, okay. Yeah, that's how you're rationalizing it. And then, yeah...
So I'm not going to be shouting out, Vexlor, use your tongue!
Not in this circumstance, no. What happens after the party, but that's not up to me. We're not getting into that. But so yeah, I mean, so you just as far as Landshark, he just heard he set the guy down. He heard Omniglot go, Landshark, you don't just set him down because he said to set him down. Oh crap. Bruce, are you feeling okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, that's good. And, like, she's not paying Vexlor any attention at this point. She is focused on Bruce.
Like, I just put him down so we could talk.
Okay, yeah, that's reasonable enough. Ray, don't let him talk anymore.
Mm-hmm. Check.
And, she's advancing into the room or whatever, so. Then it is
Wait,
Vexlor.
I thought we wanted him to talk.
She's like, eventually. Then it is Vexlorp's turn. Let's see. Vexlorp, in parentheses, or quotation marks, whatever. Let's see. I'm going to give them advantage as they are tapping a quality. So Ray and Landshark. Which one of... Let's see. It's one tapping, so should I... It's affected both of you. So both of you get a determination point.
Okay.
As they are tapping the quality Wielder of the Three Rings. They flare up into light. They do a burst attack. As they do that, the illusion of Vexlorp disappears from around her.
What?
And you see Malab again.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Now, she is dressed in the stuff Vexlorp was wearing.
Okay. Oh, the formal.
So she's in like, she's in like male formal gear or whatever. Not the usual brown robes. She's glowing much like Ray, or when you would see her use the power out of the Starsheed ring.
Yeah.
Let her make her attack roll. Let's see. That is coordination. So both of you need to give me a coordination roll. 10 is the number to beat.
Okay.
Ray,
It's close
if you...
quarters, so I'm gonna.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say it's close quarters, so I assume I don't get my aerial combat bonus to dodge.
Were you currently flying, or were you standing on the ground next to the guy holding his mouse yet?
Yeah, I was probably on the floor by the time
Okay.
I got to shutting up Vexlord.
Then yeah, you would not have.
All right,
Now,
coordination.
this room has a high ceiling, so if you launch into the air, there is enough room for you to do a little maneuvering. So you could have it in the future.
Okay, but for now, what did I roll? I've got my character sheet in the way. Oh, okay.
So you rolled a 9, so she beat you by 1. So you'll take 7 points of damage. Or let me.
Ow.
No, excuse me, 8 because her light controlled is 8. It was her some of her other power was 7.
So do I let go in the process? Because that was a big old hit on Ray.
Do you what now?
Do I let go? Because I'm down to 1 stamina, so that packed a wall for me.
Yeah, I would say that was probably enough to make you let go.
Yep.
Let's see. Land Shark, you got a 7. So that's a major success. So that's 8 points of damage to you. Your damage resistance would factor in, of course. But that also triggers a potential slam for you.
Okay.
So give me a strength roll versus her power. 14 is the number to beat.
I have been slammed.
All right, that's a moderate success. I don't remember exactly how far that slams you. Luckily, I have that page marked. All right, so moderate success. Well, it's just moderate. It's not like it's a major. If it was a massive or major, you'd go flying to like the next range, which would be back out into the hallway. For a moderate, you're just knocked prone. So getting back up is your move action in the next round or next panel. Oh yeah. And the Consul is standing right next to her, or sitting in the chair next to her. So he got an 8, so he takes a hit.
Will Unison also need to roll?
Oh, that's right, because one of you would have to have
One of
physically.
them. Yeah.
The physical you would have to, yes.
All right, which roll is this?
It was coordination to avoid getting hit.
Should Recluse make a roll, or
You were in the room. I don't think you had stepped up right to the desk, though.
gotcha?
Unison would have had to because he had to physically touch the guy to use his healing power. Because his projections can't do it. It would have to have been a physical him. All right, so 9. So she would have hit you. So that's 8 points of damage to that copy.
Oh, okay, that copy bursts.
Okay, we won't worry about the slam then. Let's see. Then he rolled a 4 versus her 10. So yeah, the Consul gets flung out of his chair, goes flying across the room into a bookcase, slumps to the ground unconscious. Probably looking a little sunburned on the side of his on the side of his body that took the blast. And she is now floating up off the ground while she's glowing. You know, it's basically she just erupted the spiorid power out of herself. Dropped the illusion. You 3 guys that are close enough that you had to make the rolls. Give me awareness checks. Oh, she rolled pathetically. So the difficulty is only 5.
All right. I noticed something massively.
Yeah,
I guess we all noticed
we
it.
got the
Land
awareness
Shark
unlocked.
kind of notices something, but it doesn't register as being important. The rest of you notice the where Vexlorp had those little symbols carved into him. You can see one of those poking out from her collar, right where the one on Vexlorp had been. And then she calls out, "Sleepers, arise and defend your queen."
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the next round. Independence Ray, you're up.
Okay, I will ask Edison to do what I asked him to do earlier, and let's just blast at her. Just keep her busy enough that hopefully someone, reckless or someone else can swipe the rings. I will also take to the air as well, in doing so,
Okay.
knowing that I'm on the verge of being knocked out. But you know what? That's next page's problem.
That's Future Ray's problem.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my control. Where is my, Oh, there it is. Whoops.
Yeah, so that's her coordination, her combat. All right, you beat her by 1.
Yep, got it. Mm-hmm.
And you do how much damage?
8.
All right, 8.
Minus whatever she's got protecting her.
So she has got, let's see, her force shield is telekinesis based. All right, she takes damage. Doesn't look like it took a whole lot. She's clearly got protections up. But you did damage her. You did get through whatever protection she's got. Recluse, you're up.
So I'm probably not going to be able to physically touch those rings unless we can just knock down that shield, right?
Quite possibly. I mean, you don't know how strong the shield is. You'll have to get through the shield to have any hope of getting to the rings.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up that couch that she and the consulate were sitting on, and I'm just gonna smack the crap out of her like like a giant rolled up newspaper.
All right. He was sitting at his desk, and she was like leaning over him with an arm on his shoulder.
I'm gonna smack
There
her
are
with the desk
there
like
are
a-
love seats in the room or the desk.
Yeah, just gonna hit her with the desk.
Okay, that works too. What is that?
Sounded like someone started a video and didn't know to mute themselves when they started it.
Any idea who that would have been?
Didn't start it on purpose.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
All right, taking a swing with the desk, and I'm using fast attack, just like 2 great big swipes to try to boost my chance of hitting her.
Okay, so you're taking 2, or no, you said to boost your...
Chance of hitting her, yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
So that'll pop
That's
up to 8. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That's a 14 to hit.
All right, this will be prowess. Ooh, this is gonna be rough on her. Ooh, she doesn't really have any qualities that look like they'd be easy to tap for this. Dad, you're being called.
Okay.
Ooh, so she got a 7.
Ooh.
So it's a massive success. So you do 8 damage.
Yes, sir.
The desk, of course, shatters.
That's mahogany too.
Alright, so roll your strength versus her force shield in this case, I guess.
That's a 12.
To see if she's slammed. Alright, she's not slammed. See if she is stunned.
And stunned.
She is stunned for 1 page.
Hey.
Or 1 turn.
Hey.
Now it is Unison's turn.
Hey, so there's 5 of me in the room.
Okay.
I will go ahead and line up some shots. to knock her off balance, rattle her cage a bit, put down a condition if possible.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead with the first shot, trying to just get her dazed.
All right, with
It's an 8 for the
stun,
first
she can
shot.
still take her defensive things. I think she just can't take an action. I think. Because stunning doesn't give you the full description of what exactly stun means. Where are conditions? Well, anyway, you rolled your attacks. Let me roll the defense. Alright, she gets out of the way. One blast.
Second shot, it's even worse. Great.
Yep.
Hey, there's a shot that can.
Alright, that's a solid hit.
That's gonna create what? 1 usage, 2 usages?
You're trying to like put her off balance or something?
Yeah. Just create a condition.
Alright, we'll give her the distracted condition. You beat her by 2, so that's just a moderate success, so that's 1 free tapping.
Alright. That's 1, 2, 3. So I've got 2 left who will both try to do a mental blast. So willpower based. Which I know is not gonna work out well, but
Willpower
still try
versus
it.
willpower?
10 and an 8.
11 and a 13.
Yeah, nah.
She may be their equivalent of a Hot Topic goth, but she's a stubborn one.
She's got a brain ring on.
I'm not saying that helped, but it might have helped.
But alright, that's the 5 of me.
Alright. Land Shark, you're up. Well, you're down. You're down, but it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my turn getting up,
Alright.
and I'll just say, lady, you're either crazy or have a massive ego to mess around while we're here still.
Alright, so you spend your move to stand up.
Yep.
And then you lecture. Is Bruce shaking his finger at her while he's talking?
Yeah.
Alright, then it's the guard's
I've
turn.
been practicing lecturing for school.
And while the regular
Certain sharp
guards
situation.
are all unconscious, the sleeping people in the room suddenly spring up. You see them open their eyes. There's red light pouring out of their eyes. Like you can still see the physical eye, but it's if you could imagine somebody having an LED light, a bright red LED light inside their eye shining out. That's kind of what it looks like. Well, they were sleeping, and then she shouted at them to wake up and defend her. Well, to defend their queen. Oh, now where did I put the... Here we go. All right. So there are 4 of them that were asleep on the love seats. The first one charges Recluse. And is going to try to grapple Recluse. Ooh, didn't roll good, though. So 8 is the number to beat.
And that's prowess or coordination?
This is prowess. If you have wrestling, that would factor in.
Okay. That's a 9.
All right. You managed to avoid letting him get a grip on you. One of them runs and tries to grab Ray. Now, Ray is lifted up into the air slightly, so it's kind of like he's kind of grabbing you by the knees.
Mm.
Or attempting to. Give me a prowess. I'll let you use your aerial combat since you are in the air.
Cool. Let's see. Okay, prowess and coordination are the same, so I can just use my.
That'll be fine.
This
10 is the
roll.
number to beat.
Not quite. It's a tie.
But this was a wrestling move. He was trying to get you in a grapple, so this counts as a failure for him. It's not like there's a half damage type thing or anything going on. The next one runs for is Unit in the room? Or all of you are in the room, right?
Yeah.
Or all the unisons, the unici. All right, so one of them runs for Unit. Again, trying to grapple. Ooh, only a 7 though.
Martial arts is not wrestling.
Martial arts is not wrestling.
Yeah, 8.
All right, so you managed to avoid, And then the last one, we'll go after Omniglot. Somebody give me a D6 roll for Omniglot.
As is tradition, I guess I'll go ahead and roll the D6 after Zach. 5 plus her stat.
All right. All right, so that definitely beats the 8. So they were less than impressive. In fact, let me double check and make sure I rolled wrestling correctly. Okay, yeah. It's prowess. It's their prowess versus your prowess or coordination. And then once they have you, they get to use their strength, and you have to try to escape that. Okay. Just making sure that I wasn't supposed to be rolling strength to begin with. But I wasn't. I did it right on accident. All right, Omniglots go. Somebody give me a roll for Omniglot.
I'll roll the D6.
Let's see that sweet too. Oh my goodness.
All right, so that's a 6. Versus all right, so they got an 8, but she got a total of... She got a massive success. We'll leave it at that. All right, so she smacked them. So yeah, she runs up, slugs it. Unison, you see disappointment on her face. Whatever's happening to these guys, it's toughened them up.
Oh.
I don't think they'll take a punch from Recluse or Shark. But I'm not sure me or you need to bother swinging on them.
That's fair. My entire plan was just to knock everyone off balance for the heavy hitters.
She gives you kind of a thumbs up. Then it is the Witch Queen's turn. And she is stunned for this round, so she does nothing for this round other than kind of float around a little bit and shake the cobwebs out of her head. So she has lost her action, so now she is back at full faculties. Independence Ray.
Okay, so
You got a guy grabbing at your knees.
Oh, right. I will basically try to shake him off. I guess I'll just fly around and try to shake him off.
Okay. Well, now he failed to actually get a grip, so floating up a little higher out of his reach is fine.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely do that.
Okay.
And we may just have to hammer her into unconsciousness to get at those rings. So I'll try to blast her again.
Okay.
And get another solid hit roll. Maybe I can keep her stunned.
All right. She is going to attempt to block your blast with her power.
Oh.
So, coordination.
I should learn that trick someday if I have the time to.
And she is going to tap equality. So, Ray, give yourself a determination point.
Okay.
I think she'll tap Wielder the Three Rings again. So for a +2. Alright, so she fails. You shoot her, she shoots her beam, yours manages to kind of power through. But where they hit, there's like it's like a ball of energy flares up. And you see kind of like streaks of light go off, and they're hitting like the walls of the bookcase, leaving little scorch marks.
So it got maybe partially deflected.
I don't know. She seems to take a pretty hard lick from it.
Okay.
It still hits her hard enough. Like, it's not doing massive damage here, but it hits her hard enough that it definitely got through her defensive shield.
Oh, very good.
And she's kind of looking angry. None of the rest of you get hit by those stray rays, but they do like scorch the carpet and stuff.
3 rays.
And there's like and when both of you stop firing, that ball of energy sits there for a second, and then sort of flares off and disperses. She looks a little confused by that. It's like, when the ball is still sitting there, she gives it a confused look. Recluse, you're up.
All right. I would like to. Go ahead.
I was going to say the two glowing people are, up in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Not that that's a problem for Recluse to reach.
I would like to just hop up there with a web line and try to, and I'm going to tap, if you'll permit me, Blessed by the Crawling Gods, and we still have 2 free tappings of her off balance quality, right?
You had 1 free tapping of that, but yes, it is still there.
I'd like to tap that to try and just force my way, both of those to try and force my way through her force shield and grab her ring.
Okay.
So that would be, would I be able to add in martial arts or athletics to this roll? Not yet.
Let me find. Grabbing. Alright, so it's prowess or strength. Alright, you've got to use the lowest of your prowess or your strength.
That'll be my prowess.
Against the opponent's strength level. Or in this case, it would be her force shield, because that's what you're trying to force your way through.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but this is to grab something from an opponent's grasp. Trying to get a ring off is a little different. We will go with this roll, but I'm going to give her a +2 on her end.
Right.
Just because it's going to be difficult to pull a ring off of somebody like that.
Yeah. And would I be getting a +2 or a +4? Because I'm tapping two qualities. The her off balance and my blessed by the crawling guy.
You can tap multiples. I don't think you can stack them together. Let me double check. These are not rules I've had to look up in a while. Where would they be?
Yeah, this is kind of a weird, complicated action. I do apologize.
Alright, see determination later in this chapter. Because when I have the page labeled determination, have the entire write-up on it. When you can just have
That
the
is
page
a
for a
little
picture.
section of the book that makes me so much.
It's like it just
That
gives
makes
you a
me
little hint of how it works and then directs you somewhere. No, just tell me the whole thing right there.
Just why, Steve? Why?
It's a very nice picture on that page, but you know. Save that half-page picture for somewhere else.
That's a penny.
Alright.
Let go. Let go.
Alright, you can only activate a particular quality once on a page. Avoid trouble, determined effort. Okay, yeah. As long as you're not trying to tap the same quality twice. I think you can tap two different qualities to give yourself a bonus to the same thing. At least I don't see anything that opposes it.
So that would be a +4.
Correct. Alright.
Alright. And there's my grab roll.
Both of you got a 14.
Ooh.
And I want to say a marginal success on a grab doesn't do anything, but I will double check. Failure or marginal success, no effect.
Damn.
So you feel like you pushed through the shield and you felt, your fingers brushed across the rings. Two of them are kind of cold metal, but the one that's lit up with that spuried energy flowing out over, that one's very warm to the touch.
Alright, so making a mental note of which ring is what. Is the warm ring.
Right. And technically it's glowing, but right now it's making her entire body glow, so that would be a little hard to tell, I guess. But
Oh, I could have also used my fast attack to get my... well, it's passed.
Unison, you're up. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. How are we doing time-wise?
Oh, I don't have a hard stop.
Oh, okay.
Right.
We won't go much further. Hopefully we can wrap this up fairly quickly.
Let me go ahead and try to put try to knock her back off balance.
Okay.
9.
That's her coordination.
Buh.
Nope.
Try one more.
Ooh.
Hey.
So that is 3 massive success. You have 3 free tappings of her off
All
balance.
right. Use it to beat her. 1 copy will heal up Independence Ray because you're hurt, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so he flies up.
Heal you up to 6 points of stamina back.
I suspect he'll need all that.
Yes, in fact, I can. Yeah, I'm almost at full. But thank
All right. And then I'll pop 2 shots on the guy that was trying to grapple me, if he's still up and standing.
He's still standing.
Yep. I'll try a shot and see how it goes.
All right.
11.
Oh, you got him.
All right. It's 6 damage. Does it get through to him?
Yes, some of it gets through.
I'll take a second shot. That's my last. A 9.
An 8, so...
6 more.
All right, he's looking a little roughed up now. Let me double check.
And that
his
is...
hit points. Or stamina.
Yep, that's 5 actions. I'm done.
All right. Land shark. Oh, we need to do another check on the mind control to see if you've gotten out of that or not. So give me a willpower roll. All right, and this is actually because she was also stunned for a round, and we've got to do it that round. So give me another roll.
Okay.
All right. It is still under effect, even though she has forgotten to give you any orders. The last 2. Well, 1 round she was stunned, and then this past round she was occupied.
I can't actually reach her, correct?
Correct.
She's floating.
Unless you've got some kind of leaping power. Now,
I do not.
there's furniture in the room.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to grab part of that mahogany desk, or mahogany since it's not from Earth, and throw it at her.
Or is it? It's just a really, really valuable desk you're carrying. Do you know how much you paid to import that?
And I'm going to use, Unison put a quality on her, right?
Yep, there are 3 free tappings of it.
Distracted. I'm going to use one of those tappings.
All right, so off balance.
Forgetting.
3. So y'all
Yes,
use one of them.
yes. Spin the combat tactics of your Batman. Do it.
All right, so you chunked the chair with a 7.
Sorry about that.
Now is that 7 counting the +2?
No, that was my second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roll
I'm
to
sorry. You have
resist.
not rolled the attack yet. I'm sorry. That was,
I
okay.
haven't rolled it yet. Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I just looked over and saw you were the last roll and just forgot about what we'd previously been doing.
Not much better than a 7, but, you know,
A
there we
little
go.
better. All right, so this is her coordination. All right, so she gets out of the way. Is that the half of the desk that was in the best shape goes flying past her, hits the ceiling, banks off the wall into the ground, and it splinters now.
Yeah, well, now they're not going to be fixing that desk.
Yep, it's only good for kindling, which is a shame because they don't really build fires in their houses around here. All right, so that's land shark. Then it's the sleepers. And let's see, there's 4 sleepers. The injured one that you just shot, Unison, grabs one of the love seats and throws it at you.
That seems rude.
Yeah, it's a little rude. Ooh, but only a 4 to hit you, so.
A 7 to dodge.
The next one tries to grapple Omniglot. Somebody give me a roll for Omniglot.
A 6.
Okay. She definitely beats that, so he fails to get his hands on her. Let's see, there was one trying to get Ray, but Ray flew up too high for him to reach. So he runs over and tries to grab Land Shark since Land Shark attacked his queen. Can't be having that.
Is he trying to hit me?
He is trying to grapple.
Punch me?
This is a grapple.
So, is it prowess still?
It's still prowess, but martial arts does not help. Wrestling would.
Oh, sorry. Then take 1 off of my roll.
All right, so you got a 9, he got a 10, so he gets you in a partial hold. He is unnaturally strong. Probably not as strong as you. He's strong. He ain't shark strong. But definitely enhanced. Definitely got enhanced strength. So, partial hold. You can't walk away from him. You can do whatever you want to otherwise, but you're at -2.
Okay.
Unless you're escaping. The escape action does not have the penalty.
All right.
Then it is Omniglot's turn. Let's see. How did that ability of hers work again? Oh yeah, somebody give me a D6 roll for Omniglot. As she starts talking to this guy.
6.
Nice.
Alright, somebody else is going to have to roll next time, I'm just saying. Alright, that's plus her. So that gives her a total of a... Dang. Alright. Versus his willpower. So she starts rattling off at him in 3 or 4 different languages, probably on multiple different subject matter. Well, your translators are probably translating all the languages, but all kinds of different subject matters. Like, even not half paying attention, because you've learned not to half pay attention when she does this. It's vaguely confusing. Luckily, you have other things to focus on. The opponent that she's talking to now, though, is staggering back. And he's talking himself. Your translator, it's a harsh language. Like, it creeps you out like nails down a chalkboard. But your translators aren't translating it. And he sort of stumbles back, trips over a little table that was next to the love seats or something. And he hits the ground and he's jabbering, and then the lights in his eyes go off. And then he's sitting there kind of blinking, looking disoriented, almost like the Consul did when you first woke him up. It's like his eyes are open and halfway trying to focus, but. And Omnigot looks disturbed. She's like, that was like demons back home use that language.
Oh.
Like, I don't mean it was a similar language. I mean, it's the same language.
Interesting.
And then she's like, I don't speak it. I've heard it just enough to kind of know it, not enough to have figured it out. I think when I stunned him, I think I made him lose his grip on the guy. At least the lights went out. And she kind of steps up close to the guy and is kind of like, craning her neck to get a closer look without getting too close to him. And then it is the Space Queen, the Witch Queen's turn. All right, so it's her turn. So before I forget again, Mike and Curtis swapped places on my screen for some reason. Here we go. It's fixed. Curtis, give me another willpower roll.
Certainly.
Oh, let me double check. All right, so she rolled an 8. She rolled her minimum, so she got an 8, and you got an 8. Let me check what a minimal. I imagine that means that you're out from under her control.
In favor of the attacker in icons.
But I am just going to. Well, a lot of stuff just counts as a failure. In combat, it does the half and half thing, or the half effect. I just want to see if that means you shook it off. Or if maybe you don't have to do the thing this round. Mind control.
No.
All right, a marginal success. All right, so on the initial roll, there would be no effect, but they could try again with determined effort. Because she'd initially gotten a major control. No, she'd gotten a moderate. That was it. Okay. Which is why you're getting the rechecks. Because if she had gotten a major or a massive,
Thank you, Mom.
it goes for longer. All right, but as far as just the resisting, I'm going to say that you've still got the control thing.
Okay.
But this round, when she tells you to attack Recluse, like you basically sit there and go, well, "That's my buddy. I'm not doing." This round.
Recluse is my friend.
Yeah. You can ignore the command this round, but the power is still in effect. It's just this particular round you're kind of like, "What? No, he's a buddy." But if she tells you again next round, unless you roll better. But that's not an action. That was just her telling you what to do, so that's free. All right. Does she consider Ray the bigger threat, or is she freaked out the Recluse went after her rings?
I do have a second star sheet.
That's true.
Dad. Up. Up.
Independence Ray gets a determination point as she taps her quality master of magic.
I gotta do something with all this determination I've got.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that I keep giving it to you, but she keeps trying off the wall stuff. She starts making hand gestures. She's holding up two of the ringed fingers that she's got the rings on. She's got all three rings on basically the three fingers of one hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so she is going what basically she screams at you that, clearly you don't know what you're doing with your Starsheet's power. So she'll just take it. All right, now
It was so good to the other one.
Well, the other one didn't have a Starsheet's power to be using already, see?
Mm.
Now let's... Alright, hang on. Let me grab the power book. I don't know if this was a power in the basic one. Because she's basically power stunning for like a drain attack sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's not in here. Maybe it was power nullification. Alright, now I know there was a power that you could use to either drain or turn off another person's powers. What was it called?
Pretty sure it is nullification.
Alright, let me check nullification then. I was looking at drain, I was trying to look at power. I guess I was looking at power nullification, not just the word nullification. Alright, wasn't in that book. Let's check this one. It's the only problem when you try to power stone power kind of on the fly. Ah, yes, nullification. Here we go. Alright, it's coordination versus coordination for her to lock on to you.
Okay. I've got a couple of things. I would like to go ahead and use one of my determination points to activate hosting an alien energy being to resist.
Okay.
Because I may not want to be the host, but I don't want her to be the jailer, as it were.
I got you.
Yeah. Next, I have a question. Would you see fit for me to add my power light control to this role, or is this different from just using my light powers too?
You wouldn't add it to the roll. You could use your light control to resist this.
Oh.
She's trying to pull that power out of you, so you could use your abilities with that power to be your resisting stat, basically. That makes perfect sense to me.
I would love to activate hosting an alien energy being for that, because light control is considerably heftier than coordination. So I'll definitely spend a point on that.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put this out there, but you could, if you wanted to make it even harder for me to resist, you could tag Ray's proud gay American quality, because me being a superhero has always been something of a sore point, a complication in my relationship with my fiance. And maybe deep down, he just wants to be rid of the burdens so that he could come to.
I like that idea. I will tap that. I will tap that to give you trouble. So basically, that determination point you were going to spend, you get that back, or you don't have to spend it essentially, and that will give her a +2.
Okay. Now I know that ultimately makes things harder for me, but that would be the reality of
Yeah, yeah.
what we're going through.
As you're a little conflicted,
Oh,
when you realize what she's doing, do I really want to stop this?
yeah. So I am at least resisting with light control,
Yes, yes.
and I'm adding nothing because yeah, I'm not actually adding anything using, but that also means that my +3 power bonus does kick in since I'm using light control to resist. And wait a minute, I should be okay. So I should roll 1d6. Let me make sure I get this right. +8 for the light control, whoops, +3 for the specialty and light control power. So here we go. Oh, oh, look at
Oh, so
I got
you got a
14.
14. She got a 14.
Yeah.
So you can feel it. You can feel her trying to tug the power out, but then you're using your will and your control over it to hold it in. What the rest of you see
And
is light from her hands, kind of going out and touching Ray's chest, and then you can see kind of a flare of his own light, like moving out of his chest a little bit, and then with pulling back in. It's like there's a tug of war going on.
yeah, while this is going on, I would like to just at least speak aloud to myself and hopefully to my partner in crime here that if you want to do if you're able to emerge and kind of like make your presence and personality known, this would be a good time to do it.
Give me an awareness roll.
Because oh, okay, just straight up
Because you're
awareness.
very, very tapped into your power at the moment. So let's see if you
Yeah.
notice anything.
I would like to. Can I activate? No, wait. I've already activated hosting an alien energy beam this round,
Yep, yep.
so I can't use it again. Now, assume my other qualities don't apply, so straight up awareness it is. And unfortunately, I am unaware.
Yep, you don't
Be
know.
focused on the
If it's got feelings about the subject, you have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
Which might mean that it doesn't. It might mean that it's not aware that you're talking to it. Or you may just not know how to do that.
That's right.
So y'all see them doing their tug of war. And that's the end of the round. And the roof blows off.
Hey.
Like it just swept aside. And you see a large sphere, swirling mass of energy.
Oh, here we go.
And
Mama's angry.
and that's what
Yeah, he wants to
basically
say
what you hear. You hear Omniglot. Oh, she's pissed. And like it's not like she just blew through the roof of this room. It's like she tore the roof off the building. You can hear people in the parking lot now, or in the driveway area, screaming because this is like something that's going on.
All the vehicle alarms in the area are going off.
The Spiorid launches a beam. And the Witch Queen kind of tries to do that deflect thing. So now you've got like now she's locked in on both the Spiorid and the, I guess we'll call you a Spiorid wielder. Everybody else feels the temperature going up fast. Ray, if you don't mind, we're going to skip you this round as y'all are all locked in to a combat. I mean, you'll get a roll. I just need to wait. Need you to wait for the end if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Recluse, what are you doing? The temperature is going up very quickly. The light, the Spiorid's light, Ray's light, and the light from this chick, it's all flaring up brighter, plus the temperature's going up.
I'm just gonna go all out on the Witch Queen. I am tapping her off-balance, one of her off-balance qualities, and I'm tapping Justice, Blessed by the Crawling Gods, one for an extra chance to hit, and the rest for extra damage.
Mommy.
All right.
So that is... Oh, and also fast attack for extra damage, too.
Okay.
13 to hit.
All right, I'm going to give her a -2 to dodge because she is otherwise occupied. Well, you're already doing the off balance. Nah, I'll still give her the -2. She's in a bad way. All right, so coordination plus her aerial combat -2. All right, that's a massive success.
Alright, so that is a +1.
So that's the
So
damage
that's
up to
plus-
9.
Yeah, +3. No, that'd be plus. The damage would be like 11.
All right, so every advantage or every something that you put towards damage is only a +1. It's a +2 to try to hit plus. All right, so you did the fast attack to increase damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then you use
And tap 2 qualities for. Oh yeah, no, just yeah. So it would just be +2 damage.
so +2 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
So you put 2 somethings towards damage. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you'd put one towards at least one towards hitting. Okay. So 8 becomes 9 becomes 10. The energy ore that they're all giving off now, however, does 9 points of damage to you.
Ooh.
It's like you jumped into a bug zapper. Oh, but you got your lick in. So that is 10. So that's a minus her force shield. So that is definitely more damage she's taking from
I'll be
one
right
lick. Oh, yeah, no problem. All right, now there's some slamming, stunning rolls we got to make when he gets back. Curtis, what are you doing? Or what is Landshark doing as all this is going on? Like I said, the heat is building up fast. It's clearly a thing.
Right. With strength 8, can I jump to hit her, or am I still?
You don't have leaping.
I do not.
I mean, obviously you should be able to leap better than a normal person.
But not necessarily.
And it's not like she's super high. I mean, she's like 10, 12 feet in the air where...
Probably too high.
Let me see if there is a specific... Jumping. You can cover distances with a jump. You have a strength of... Oh, hang on. I am totally wrong. Strength is a factor. If you have a strength of 7 or more, you can jump extended distances. If you have the leaping power, you may be able to jump much greater distances. If clearing a jump is in question, roll a strength test. Athletic specialty applies. Okay. And you're really only needing a few feet more than a normal person could jump. So yeah, I would say that's not a problem for Landshark then.
Okay. I am going to jump up and I'm going to punch her. And she's still got distracted quality on her, right?
There's one more tapping of it, yes.
I'm going to tap that. And can I stack it, burning my own determination? You know, I'm a shark. Maybe I'm a flying shark.
Sure. Is that going? Are you going to do that to hit her or to the damage?
To hit her.
Okay. Yep, you can give that a roll then.
So I can double stack those two.
Right, as long as you're tapping, as long as it's tapping different stuff, yes. You just can't tap the same thing twice. All right. So that's a massive success.
Boom.
All right, what's your strength?
8.
All right, so that gets through her damage, her force shield. So she takes some more damage. All right, I know Zach stepped away.
I'm back.
Oh, okay. All right, then we'll start with you. Give me 2 strength rolls to see if you have slammed and stunned her. So a 13 and a 10. She got a 10 and a 9. So you stunned her you slammed her, you knocked her prone, which probably doesn't mean much in the air, but she's stunned for a round. Curtis, give me a strength roll for Land Shark to see if she's stunned or slammed. Need to be the 9, need to be the 11. All right, she is not slammed. And then one more for the stun.
Still strength though, right?
Right. It's essentially the same roll, it's just for different effects. All right, so you didn't slam or stun her, though she is stunned for 1 round. You also take 9 points of damage from the energy aura that is built up around the 3.
Oh, okay. That's smarted.
I just like the idea that Land Shark watched Recluse jump up there and get zapped. Psst. Ooh, that's a good idea. So he jumped into a bug zapper. That's a bad idea. But bug zappers don't do anything to sharks. Psst. Okay, maybe they do a little something to sharks. Unison, what are you doing while all this is going on?
I guess I will gently cry to myself about all the healing I'm gonna have to do. I will go ahead and get 2 copies over there and pump 6 points into the 2 of them.
Okay.
Does the Speward go before? Oh, I guess I wouldn't know that. I'm gonna look at what's left of the lady and just shout, "Hey, you're gonna want to give it the ring. It's really angry about it because it's noticed that you're using powers of a thing." You know what? You'll figure it out. Just toss the ring to it. Are the other 2 random dudes still up?
The other 2 random dudes are kind of just standing there swaying, and their lights and their eyes are flickering.
Oh, okay.
Almost like maybe she's using her magic to do something else now.
Mhm.
But whatever's in them hasn't quite moved out yet. But they have burst out into a sweat. Like the heat and the heat that's building up is definitely getting to them.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and just throw 3 blasts at her and see if I can even wound her
Okay.
to get her unconscious to try to get that ring.
All right, roll it.
12.
Where was she at? She got a 10, so that's a solid hit.
6 points.
6 points does not get through the shield.
Oh, okay. I thought I only got like the tiniest amount through. All right then. Then 1 to knock her off balance again, but nope.
Well, it'll depend on what she rolls. Well, if I get the button to work. Ooh, minimum
All right.
roll. So you
One
got
tap.
one tapping of off balance.
I will tap it to do more damage on this shot.
All right.
12.
All right, massive success.
All right. So it's 2 points of extra damage,
1 point of extra
or
damage.
just 1 point at 7.
That is exactly what her force shield takes.
Ah, dagnabbit.
But because you did exactly 0
Zero.
damage, you still get to roll for the slams and stuns.
It's still slam and stun.
So roll your power level twice versus her force shield. So 10 and 8 are what you want to beat.
All right. So slam is on a 9, doesn't happen. Stun is on a 10.
All right, so 8, 9, 10. So she's stunned for a round.
All right, and that was all of my actions because that was 2 heals and then 4 shots.
I think we did you and Land Shark out of order.
Or 2 heals, 3 shots.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Unison's been gone before me.
Yeah, so I think we skipped him and went to you. All right, now it's her thugs, or the sleepers' turn. The lights finish going out in their eyes, and all the sleepers are like barely keeping their balance. The guy that Omniglot had knocked loose is like getting to his feet. He's with it enough to look around and realize what's going on and start running for the door. Very, an off balance, fast shuffle, really more than a run. And he's like grabbing one of the guys he's around. We need to get out of here. Where's the consul? I don't see the consul. Because the consul's back behind the fighting at this point. Slumped against a wall. About to be cooked. Then it's Omniglot's turn. Unison, she shouts to you and points at the Spjord. I don't think she's taking prisoners. We need to get the consul and everybody not invulnerable out of here.
Fair enough.
And she spends her action going over to some of the guys that have just been depossessed and trying to get them, get them moving towards the door. And now we're dealing with this little cluster of folks. So Ray, you and the Spjord and the witch are all locked in this combat.
Okay.
So what is your action going to be? You still feel this tugging as she's trying to nullify your powers, or trying to drain the power out of you.
Given that we're both kind of using, so she's exerting some kind of starsheet energy through her her TK shield, or at least she's able to exert it. Yeah.
Now, before she started the draining on you, she was very clearly casting a spell. And she was holding up 2 fingers, one of which had the glowing starsheet ring, and then one of the other rings.
Okay. Would it be possible for me to basically reach through her shield by kind of honing in on that starsheet and on the energy of the starsheet she's wielding, and basically turn this from a one-way draining to a tug of war, with my own starsheet?
I would allow you to power stunt to do that.
So once again, tagging hosting an alien energy being. And I can't. I don't feel strongly about tagging any of my other 2 qualities for this. Am I still
She
able
is.
to?
She had another off balance put on her. You could tap that.
Oh, yeah. I will. I'll do that then. Am I still defend? Am I still using my light control power
For
for
this,
this?
yes, I would say that's what this is. Yeah, I would say this is probably a power stunning off of your light control.
Okay. Well, I will roll that plus. So roll 1d6 plus 8 for the light control plus 3 for my power, or my specialty in light control plus 2 because I'm taking advantage of her being off balance.
Okay.
And move. Oh, and I didn't use. I didn't. Okay. I go there. So let's one more time.
What's more with feeling?
With feeling. Oh, how's that for feeling?
That's pretty good
Generated
feeling.
16.
14.
Wow, this is a lot of big numbers getting thrown around here.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you beat her by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you feel a lot of that power being pulled out. And it's entering you, and it doesn't feel good. You're not taking damage from it, but it don't feel right. So this is. It feels weird to you, and you get the impression your little buddy isn't enjoying it either.
Yeah.
But it does seem to her brightness dims slightly. It does seem to be weakening her. And like I said, she's a little dazed. She can't really take an action, but she turns like she looks at you very startled, and tries to disengage that ability she was using on you. Only now you've got a hold of it, so it's like,
That's right.
It's like she was reaching out and grabbing you, and now she's trying to let go and pull her hand back, but you've grabbed her arm.
Yeah. You started this, but I'm gonna finish it.
I don't know if you are. Because it's like she was trying to turn to focus her attention on the very angry Spiorid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that Spiorid cuts loose on her.
Okay.
Well, that's a pretty bad roll for the Spiorid, but not as bad as hers. So that's another 10 points of damage. Shoot, where's her stats at? There we go. So yeah, there's this big beam of light, like a pillar. Well, not a pillar of light. I forgot. The Spiorid does very focused blast when she's angry. And this very focused blast. Oh yeah, let me roll. Let me roll her. This is a killing attack. So yeah, a very focused, big bright light, but then it collapses down into this like pinky thin beam that enters the witch's chest on one end, on the front, and comes out the back.
Ooh.
All the light around the witch goes out. The power you were grappling with seems to it's like a rubber band. It's like it just snaps back away from you.
Yeah.
Well,
that kind of three-way energy aura that was built up dissipates. So the heat will dissipate naturally now. But the witch hits the ground. And then the Spiorid hits it with a much wider beam that just seems to disintegrate the body. and a chunk of the floor, and it does some damage to the floor underneath it. And then there's a moment where everything's quiet. You look down and there's like dust, and you see the 3 rings all laying down there, red hot, like you just pulled out of a forge hot, undamaged, but glowing red with heat. And then the spheroid spinning slows down a little bit, and it kind of twirls around Ray like it's giving him a once-over. And then it starts drifting back off into orbit, or back up into the sky.
Oh, it doesn't take the rings?
No, it doesn't touch anything.
Did we ever see like any sign that there was a starseed extracted from that ring?
No, like I said, you were tugging on its power, but then when she died, it's like the ring snapped everything back.
Okay, so
you felt yourself lose your grip on it.
It's possible that the starseed's still in the ring.
It's also possible that your Starsheet's friend just wasn't interested in extracting a corpse.
There's a lot of
because
ways.
the one in the ring might genuinely just be dead. Recluse.
It might be brain dead. We don't know for sure.
Are we out of combat?
Yes, combat is over.
All right, Recluse is gonna shimmy down to where the rings are, rip off a chunk of his costume, and just sort of gingerly wrap all 3 rings.
All right, sounds good. All right, so just to go into a wrap up, the guys that were possessed are fine. They barely remember it. They felt a presence in their mind, and then they were like just out of it. The Consul wakes up. He's injured, but he's okay-ish.
We'll heal him again.
Oh, I forgot. With your healing power, yeah, you get him back up to tip-top shape pretty quickly. He's freaking out because he wants to know where his son actually is.
Yeah, did we just lose track of him?
No, he was never here. It was actually the Witch Queen.
Oh, right.
So, long story short, y'all wind up extending your stay another couple of days while this gets sorted out.
I guess, yeah.
They go down, they research her, search her lair again. And they find a room that everybody had walked past the first time y'all were down there. They assume it was an illusion she had put up that faded. And he's just tied up, unconscious in that room. So yeah, best they can tell, it must, since she does illusions, that must have been what the whole, your whole encounter with it down there, it was her laying on the table, and y'all were interacting with the illusionary her running through an illusionary portal kind of thing. Which is probably why whoever tried to follow her just smacked into the wall and didn't actually go through a portal.
No.
Magic.
They don't really know what to make of the whole thing with the spheroid coming down, and they've had records of them things passing through the system, but they've never done anything violent to anybody. Like, they weren't really even aware that the things were capable of violence.
I don't blame him for being upset.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that the Witch Queen got burned to ashes,
but she just wouldn't stop.
Just would not stop.
And great spheroids are, no, they're not superheroes. They don't necessarily have a superhero code.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that Fjord had left me alone. Surely they knew that I also had a starseed within me, and yet here I am.
Yeah, and like Omniglot is theorizing on what it could be because, why it came down with such a strong reaction. And she wonders, that first time the two of you had the, tested your powers against, that you kind of did that blocking beam, and it kind of flared up and did the weird thing, and then pulsed, and if maybe it saw, if it felt that or something.
I'm going to ask, because I've been lectured about this, I'm going to ask the councilman if it's okay if we take this Fjord ring with us, because we kind of have an interest in releasing it from the ring if there's a chance, and if it might be alive.
When y'all are getting ready, or he listens to you. He will certainly consult with the other consuls about it. Before you leave, he approaches you with the skin-bound book and all 3 rings.
Oh, okay.
They do not want to deal with this nonsense.
They would like you to take this off their world, please. They specifically go to Landshark about it. I mean,
I'm gonna do a side whisper to Unison. I told you we were doing them a favor.
Now, they're not keeping it a secret from the rest of you or anything like that, but he specifically goes and talks to Landshark. Because you've talked about Santa Luna.
Yeah.
So he's like, your fiance, are they married or just engaged in this? Or just dating?
I don't even think they're technically engaged. They're just
Okay.
something they neglected to do before the mission.
So he comes to you, you've talked about your significant other. And he's apparently one of the experts, one of the top tier experts on this kind of magical chicanery on your world. So his request is basically, please take this to him. Yeah, if he can free the Spiorid that's trapped in that ring, that's excellent. But please take it to him so if nothing else, they can be contained. I don't mean to be inflicting our troubles on your world, but you have an expert that can deal with it, perhaps.
Can we get you to make a saved record that we are extraditing these items on your behalf?
Oh, absolutely. And he'll get you the paperwork, or the equivalent of paperwork.
You. Because just intergalactically, if we have stuff of origin,
Oh, yes.
of your people, we just want to make sure that it's known all above board.
Yeah. He makes sure, yeah. Because he consulted with the other consul, and they all feel, yeah, let's just get this off our planet. Earth's far enough away, and they have experts, it'll be fine. And you say goodbye to Glexa and her husband, the kids. Apparently, she got a few "I told you so"s from her husband. Told you something was going to go on. Told you something was going to happen to that party. Yeah, it was a great party, but I told you something was going to happen. Now, none of the guests were injured because everybody got out basically as soon as y'all started saying stuff was going on.
Yeah, there's only one casualty, and it's the lady that was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
It was super big ball.
Most of it comes from those crackers.
It was that fermented, half-digested fruit from the fish guts. That's probably what did it. So, like I said, so you're delayed another couple of days. But then you were back off, headed for home. You've got a month or so until you'll be home. And who knows what's waiting for you there.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, bum, bum.
But something is almost certainly waiting for you between here and there.
Right, I was going to say, between...
Inevitably.
But you won't know what that is. You won't know what that is for a couple of weeks. So I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed this one. Ran a little longer than I meant for it to, but that happens.
We wrapped up the fun planet.
Yeah, this turned out to be the longest stop you had. Hope anybody at home that came out and watched enjoyed it, or who watches or listens to it later. Hope you'll join us in 2 weeks. Again, I was your GM for the day, Jason, and with me has been Zach as Recluse.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Mike as Independence Ray.
Hi, everybody.
Taylor as Unison.
Howdy. Bye.
Yeah, this would be a bye, not a howdy. And Curtis as Landshark.
Later.
And we will see y'all next time.
Mm.